All right, we are about to get this bad boy rolling. So,
Before anybody else, because tried to pull off a Kozik style poetic recap. I wrote it down, like trying
Oh,
to
good
be,
job.
because I'm really very impressed by Kozik's recaps that are like he like wrote them like a little short story. I loved that
His
idea.
recaps are
Yeah,
like,
go for it. I just
legitimate.
write it. I write it like I hear it. So
They're
yeah, just
they're
go
so
for it.
beautiful. Thank you for that inspiration, Kozik. Okay, so this is what I did. I did not go back and edit it, but I tried to make it good. Okay. So we had a raucous blast of fisticuffs at the flaming whore, and then went off on our merry ways. Cha used, unwittingly, many idiomatically inappropriate sausage references during the battle, then ran off into the night to have a sweet meeting with Sarah. Niavara and Zed narrowly succeeded at their quest to steal a button from the quote-unquote flower lady, who may indeed be a lady, who is in fact a flower. Kozik felt shunned and abandoned by his fell company, but found solace in the eerie avatar of his dark lady.
Sonny was there helping.
Well, I mean, just for a moment there, he was alone. Okay. He was kind of sad.
No, not Kozik. No. Niavara and Zed. Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry. Sorry.
Kozik felt
Damn, I
shunned
got you out of your role.
Kozik felt shunned and abandoned by his fell company, but found solace in the eerie avatar of his dark lady, a mystical shape-shifting tabby cat. Sari also found him while she was heavily inebriated, and after distracting / awakening half the neighborhood, Niavara and Zed were heisting half distracting, half awakening the neighborhood Niavara and Zed were heisting in. All coalesced back at the Hofty Lieborn to rest. Cha coming in last, and not yet sleepy, taking a first watch and praying for the first time to his goddess.
Nice.
That was my attempt at a poetic recap.
Nice.
Well done.
Gosh, it sounds like we didn't do much, but so much happened.
There were a few details and stuff, that.
Oh, throw stuff in I didn't get, please.
I remember, right, Sari was totally hammered, and Niavara, right, made a double of herself, like a doppelganger of herself, and, like, went on the way, and then so they could, like, sneak off. And then Sari ended up with me, Kozik. And yeah, we went back to that was just the only detail. That was a detail that I remember.
Oh, the heist was great, by the way. Loved it. If you want to describe your heist things at all, please do. Your heist events.
The heist was a fucking shit show. Niavara and Zedrin have come to an eternal pact, warlock bound, of not discussing the details further, given how bad the rolls went. My lord, my god, my heavens.
I should have written something about how many nat ones we rolled in that session.
Oh my god.
So
it was
part of the problem, and the first problem I will say, is that Niavara, for all of her grandeur, all of her ability to sneak around, is not actually very good at being how do we say, a thief. She's a spy. You get in places by knowing that you're supposed to be there, or else acting confident enough. So, laying on the ground on her stomach, like trying to peer underneath the doors in, the waning light of the day and the early hours of the night, probably not the greatest look for her. However, Her only witnesses were Zedrin, pirate, also probably not the most trained in this art, and Sari, who was drunk off her ass due to a
Didn't
failed
see shit.
Constitution
Yeah.
save.
And the Dark Six.
Oh yes, the Dark Six, my fault. Technically, so you guys didn't hear this from Niavara. However, Niavara is having a hard time communicating with them, so not the Dark Six. They were not watching her. She was alone.
Ah.
She was very off balance because of that. They tried going in the front, but there was something inside, a little creature of some regard. They tried to go in through the back, only to find out that the back is a whole fake door. It's just a wall. There is like a little part underneath it that makes you think it's a door. But several of our lock-picking failures went to that fake door. Lock-picking failures that we will not, we cannot recall suddenly.
That
under
shall
pressure.
not be named.
We go back to the front because Sari is really loud and has gotten the attention of the whole neighborhood. So we're like, okay, you know what? We're gonna send her home. Bye, girl, on your way.
The doppelganger really worked. She really thought she was walking with Niavara.
The
And-
Niavara.
That would have been
and
a fun
just-
moment. That would have been a
When
fun
you
moment.
disappeared,
to
it was
RP
like,
when
what
she disappeared.
the fuck?
Yeah.
And reappears
No!
promptly at Zed's side because Zedrin's passive perception is quite low compared to Niavara's average stealth roll. Now that I've said that, I'm going to fail the next stealth roll. I'm predicting that now. Place it down in the record.
Hey, hey, the dice don't remember. The dice don't remember.
I would beg to differ. I'm superstitious about this fact. However, we get inside. There is a little creature, but it's not a creature, it's a plant. It's a giant hedge monster, it looks like. Niavara walks in, it walks out. She's just like, okay, gotta lock the door. Remember that Zed's outside. Unlock the door, call Zed in, lock the door again. The button's not downstairs anymore, it's upstairs, so we follow it back. Except there's a rather big vine creature there in the middle. It seems to be growing. In fact, Niavara changes into the had already changed her form into the what's the word? Shopkeep, the flower lady. And given her piss poor ability to maintain her earlier what's the word? Demeanor. She had some concerns that Zed may not believe that it's just a disguise, but it seems that he hasn't picked up on anything yet, in spite of Niavara's best attempts to blow her cover, apparently. However, the plant inside, we don't know if we failed or succeeded the deception roll, able to get the button using a mage hand and taking it. We go downstairs, only to realize that there may be an issue, because the areas, like, we can't push the door open on the first floor anymore. The little hedge monster that we let out is now, blocking the entrance. So, like, okay, that's not great. We unlock the door. We go back upstairs. Niavara jumps out the window. Zed jumps out the window, but more gracefully falling in the hedge monster, using that to cushion his fall. Smartly, might I add. That the giant hedge thing that had been in the room with the button had grown significantly, which, concerning, but Niavara's not going to let that ruin a good night. We let the little hedge guy back in. He goes back inside. We close the door. We lock it from the outside, and we go back on our merry way. After making our pact to never mention how poorly that night had gone for us. Which, now that I have recounted it, it will never be spoken of again. We have a +1 button.
What was going on there? Was the lady actually all the vines? Because she wasn't there, right? So maybe
Is
she
she a
was
dryad
that
too?
was
She's
yeah,
either
is she a dryad or is she the creature or is she the shop? It's hard to tell.
she's a werevine. Is that what's going on?
A werevine. What a cool idea.
Regrettably, Niavara was not smart enough to think about any of this. Nor did she make any particular investigation checks into the nature of all these druidic objects.
Did
Hermione-
anybody look at the sign of the flower lady? What her name was? I think I've asked this 3 times already. Do we know
Yes,
her
the,
name?
the name doesn't
But
really
we've forgotten
fit
it every time.
the image to me, but it's Flynn, right?
Flynn. Okay.
Yeah. Irish
Do you know what
dryad.
my notes are?
That's
My
quite the
notes are a
mystery.
blank page. I got drunk. That was it. I got a blank page full of notes for the first time.
You were
Like,
a great
I didn't
drunk.
write any notes down.
You were a
Thank
good
you.
improv drunk.
Thank you so much.
Method
But I
acting.
sure didn't make any notes. I got so in. What was the flower's name? Flynn. Okay.
Flynn.
Mm-hmm.
Flynn like Flynn.
There was one other thing that you guys seem to have forgotten about.
Zedrin's date.
Mhm.
Your montage.
Oh shit!
Oh,
Right.
the montage. Yeah. I did think about my montage.
The
Mm.
montage.
Mm-hmm. We used our
Yeah,
inspirations
because we
last
used our
session.
inspiration.
Remind me, please, what what we're talking about. Montage.
So your
So
montage is
yeah.
you created in all of your collective. You get
Mhm.
to do a montage, which will allow you to take a proficiency. So essentially, you would be, if you wanted to get a proficiency bonus, I don't know, say medicine, then you would, as the player, present to the group a montage of how you learned how you figured out, how you unlocked, how you learned, how you went back through memories and remembered like the one time that you had a friend that tripped and fell and like sprained their ankle, or you think back to a moment where somebody like broke a leg and the bone was sticking out, and how you gave it some medical treatment, back in the day. Or you could even say you learned it here in the current time, like, in between doing one thing or another, you interacted with people, or maybe you went and talked to a doctor, right? So just anything that you can think of, but in the form of a montage, like something that happened, and you're just sort of retelling the moment.
So none of us have done that yet.
No, we're doing that this session.
Mm-hmm.
Are we? Okay.
Boom.
So
And we
Who
were
wants that inspiration?
right now nobody has.
I mean from the recap.
That's
Yeah,
yours, Cha.
we spent our inspiration last week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right
we
now
just got
nobody
one.
has
Take the
inspiration.
recap.
That's
What?
yours, Cha.
Okie dokie. I'll take it.
And
Everybody wants a montage.
what was the alternative to, or was there one to a proficiency bonus?
A +1 to skill,
Oh, okay.
kind of like the first one. Like the first one was sort of the lesser of it, but I had to go into this modify thing, whereas this one, I'm now proficient with this click.
Yeah.
Like Cha has his.
Okay.
First,
Yeah.
announce
I'll do it.
what skill you are aiming to put your in, and then
Okay. So, appropriately, when Cha got back to the Hofty Lieborn and stayed awake a little bit longer to just meditate and pray to his goddess, he is going to be contemplating all of the texts that he studied back in his back in the disturbing gothic hell-like mansion castle that he grew up in, and the huge library there that he was voracious at reading at. And he was reading all about the different planes of existence and about all of the different deities across the multiverse. And as he's sitting down to pray to his goddess, he's contemplating all of the different religions and sects and deities and avatars and all the different beings of all the realms of existence that he dreamed of while he was in hell, dreamed of connecting to, of approaching, and maybe even by some miracle meeting someday. So he, through doing that, will then have a prayer to his goddess. And then after that, I would say that he would like to take proficiency in religion. So Cha sits down. Everyone is kind of fast asleep in our Hofty Lyborn room. And he closes his eyes. And a kind of a faint purplish glow starts to emanate about his entire body. And within, he starts to pray. My beloved Aelistrae, goddess of freedom, goddess of moving from the dark into the light, my great silver-haired blade dancer, Aelistrae. I have never prayed to you before, but have tried to live by your ideals. Laughter, dancing, merriment, fighting for truth and freedom, serving others in need whenever possible. I've struggled to crawl from the pit of hell into the light, to find you in the madness of all these worlds. Come to me, beloved goddess. My friends and I are surrounded by dark forces, being toyed with by beings of great power. Guide us. Help us find the light, the truth, freedom. And thank you for your guidance and inspiration. Help us to find what we are all looking for, Aelistrae. He'll continue with that for a while.
Very nice.
Microphone. Hello. There we go.
Indeed.
All right. So, who would like to go next? You have your montage prepared.
God, how did I miss that this was a thing you had to prepare? Boy.
You don't really have to. Don't worry.
Yeah, you can improv it.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, yeah.
That is fine.
Yeah,
Improv creates the best content. Sorry.
absolutely. I
go.
just have to think about it a little. Thank you.
That's fine. I'll just go down the list here. All right, Kozik.
All right. So over the last few weeks, certainly, Kozik and the gang have undergone a lot of strange encounters, dark times, dark places, and yet every step of the way, Kozik feels like there's been a helpful, watchful eye right over the shoulder, or maybe some sort of gentle push in the right direction by a certain dark lady. And he's kind of come to see that, wow, there are greater forces in the world and things, and starting to see maybe his relationship with the world around him. Sometimes he even feels like an observer, like watching people, feeling like he has a truer sight than the other people through his experience and through his beautiful and deadly patroness. And so he maybe has a little more insight into when people are trying to sell him on things, or when people have grand plans for him and for the group, that maybe he's just a little more insightful. Insight. Proficiency achieved.
Confirmed.
I like the robotic level up for your insight.
So yeah, I'm gonna make that click.
Yep, there you go. All right. Let's see who's up next here. Niavara.
All right. Well, as it happens, Niavara has had it where the tiefling, nay changeling, has gotten under her skin so successfully. She is so mad. She is molding. This is Niavara at her worst. She has been fuming. And you might say, like, oh, she's just mad someone else is doing it better. And yes, she is. However, she's also personally offended that, like, someone else has been able to do it better than her in a place that she's, degraded, demeaned a little bit. She is going to spend the day, like, the night, more accurately, copying a drunk off her ass sorry. Attempting her best performances. Because she has a captive audience, and someone who won't remember this by all God willing. Six willing. Changes to sorry in front of her. Looks her dead in the eyes and starts practicing her imitations the same way that she saw the changeling do it.
Let's fuck with the drunk. We gotta fuck with the drunk. Don't ever do acid around Niavara, okay?
No way.
You'll be screwed.
No doubt.
She's hopeful that Opal won't show up, considering how late Opal was out with Shaw. But after that, she just spends her time focusing her attention on the mirror. And, calling upon, if not her quiet traveler god, then also specifically goddess of rage, goddess of passion, goddess of artisan and performers, the Fury, who Niavara's felt always a weird sort of kinship to as an unwanted daughter, if you will. And so is going to spend her time trying to train up her performance.
Nice.
Excellent.
Your deadliest weapon.
Yeah, that is appropriate.
She already has deception. So I'll click.
Hi. I don't know why, but this is making me nervous.
You have a whole host of skills to pick from. Just
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, Ray? Howdy, howdy. Get your scum on over there.
This one was a two-way tie between history and perception for me. But I think I'm going to end up going with history. Question really quickly, DM. Is there a library here in this town?
It's funny you're the first person to ask that. Yes.
Awesome. Opal would find her way to this library. As an artificer, she should have been more interested in it up until this point, but she has found her skills a bit lacking. And seeing as her best weapon is something she's not exactly the most fond of, she's going to head to the library and begin to read any book on artifice, on being an artificer, or artificials, or inventions that she can. Reading book after book, seeing what inventions she can find.
Ooh, what's for dinner?
This slowly turns into her just reading whatever book she can get her hands on, to the point where she almost forgets to sleep. I don't got any more. My brain is smooth and my head is smoother. Yeah, I got you. I was testing out how to do it because I wasn't sure if just clicking it once would give me proficiency, but I'm happy with it. But yeah. If you click it a second time without like double clicking, it gives you half proficiency. Yeah, I know. I got you, boss man. Thanks.
I'm ready to go. I'll give it a shot.
All right.
Okay.
Well, Sari has always felt, even though she's a half elf, she's always felt a little, not lacking in grace per se, but not just quite as nimble as she'd like to be. And her mentor was so graceful and so nimble and so acrobatic. And so she always just kind of was a little tight around that stuff. But she wanted to be more nimble and more acrobatic. And she noticed on her way home, as much as she noticed anything, on her way home, when she was drunk off her ass, she had many an occasion to a cup where she like
Where she had a pregnant pause.
Come back to us.
Come back.
She'll be back in a minute. You know how her internet's been tonight.
Silly internet.
She's just trying to get all of us on the edge of our seats.
I
Mhm.
know. I'm there.
Just needs a minute.
You know, that's good. That's good to hear about the library. Cha was actually considering a library trip at some point, just to learn more about the city, or at least the basic propaganda of the city. And yeah, other.
Sari's gonna like go through her whole thing and then be like, and it was done, and it's done, and we're gonna be like, we didn't hear anything.
I'm gonna actually let her know.
Oh, good call. Yeah.
Well, whether or not she actually would be able to read that, because
ability.
Discord connection.
Oh,
Yeah, I
there
guess
it
it
is.
doesn't matter if it's.
hey,
There we go.
What happened?
Back.
What's that?
are you back?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Was I talking and you guys couldn't even hear me?
Yeah.
We were just asking if you kept on talking.
Oh, that's funny. No. Where did I leave off? Where did you last hear me?
You're
Yeah.
walking.
Spotty internet is great for humor.
The things,
Sorry.
the things that you were noticing while you were so drunk.
Wow, that was it. Okay. Okay, let's
your
see.
mentor, how you admired your mentor's gracefulness, and you wanted.
Yeah.
And it always was a sticking point for you. That you didn't have
Right.
more like nimbleness.
Right. So as I was walking home, there were a number of times that I almost ran into things and fell off things, and because I was feeling so out of it, and so I started to just like glide this way and glide that way and just miss things, and I started to feel this really in my body like and I because I haven't been that drunk that many times, and so I started to feel like my body just really loosening up and losing my inhibitions, and started feeling like I could just swoop around things and swerve, and I just felt that grace kind of enter my body, and I started to understand what my mentor was talking about how it's not stop thinking about it, and it's in how it feels in my body, not how I'm thinking about it in my head. And so I got Sari got really into. She started doing cartwheels and flips, and things just really started moving for her in a way that it really hadn't before. And she felt like being drunk actually really loosened up some of the tightness around all of that. And for the first time, she just really felt in her body, and like there was more of that to her than she'd allowed herself to develop before. And so she really started playing with it on the way home and was feeling like she's really starting to open up into her more graceful, acrobatic self.
Nice.
Cool.
So that's the proficiency.
All right. And so in your character sheet under attributes, click on the little bubble for acrobatics. There you go.
Okay, cool. But that doesn't affect then what happens on the not on the right, but under attributes? That bubble? No.
No,
Yeah,
under
so where it
there we
says
go, I get it.
acrobatics, yeah.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
So that'll add your proficiency bonus to any acrobatics rolls.
Okay.
All right. So that leaves Mr. Zed.
Well, keeping it very much to himself, as the pact between himself and Neovara would dictate. He is still just going over the evening and the heist, and kind of realizing that he's not as stealthy as he thought he was. He's he's been able to be stealthy in his past, but he's kind of realizing it's something he needs to work on. So he'll sit around for a little while, and he'll conjure up his mage hand, and he'll basically just kind of, whether he thinks it's gonna, I mean, he thinks it's gonna help. Whether it's gonna help or not, we'll see. But he'll just have his mage hand basically just kind of drift between being invisible and visible, and kind of moving around the room, to the point where he can just try and study the art of being stealth to try to literally be invisible. Not for anyway, you get what I mean. And yeah, so he's going to get proficiency in stealth. This is the second. It's either the second or third montage that I've used my mage hand in.
It would be the second because we've only had 2 montages.
Oh, it was something else. Yeah, but yes, that's right.
Your mage hand is a very interesting character. It's becoming a character. Like you arm
almost
wrestle
is,
with
right?
it. It's like it outsmarts you. It beats
I'll
you
do.
at like
I've
rock
never
paper
beat it
scissors.
at rock paper scissors. Yeah, it's like
It's really becoming a
it's like
character.
1,000 or something.
Right? That's so intriguing. Like it's almost like who's in control here, Zed or the mage hand?
Hmm.
The mage hand has gained sentience. It is a threat to
Yeah,
all.
exactly.
It's very interesting. It does add that kind of an element.
Wunderbar. So, if you recall, as you know, as the woodaloo has faded away, and we're in the current point, the current moment in time, the point where everybody went to sleep for the evening.
Could you start over a little bit, Cubed? I didn't hear you.
I was just saying we're just fast forwarding to now. That's it.
Okay. Thanks.
So, you guys went to sleep, went to bed, settled in for your long rest. And let's see here. So, yeah. And as I had mentioned at the end of last session, something happens. But the question is, to whom?
The
The answer would shock you. So
The
Zed,
mage hand.
Oh, Zed's going to get a visitation in his sleep.
There we go. That's what we need here.
Is that it?
I don't know.
Can't the guy just have one good night's sleep?
Nope.
Right? Wait, what do you mean you don't know, Cube?
Trail.
You don't know?
Of course,
Cube,
I would
I thought-
never know. How would I possibly know?
I don't get how it's supposed to come out. I'm confused. What happened to
Facetious.
somebody?
So, Zed, you went to sleep. You finally had a chance to rest. You got the bar fight. You got to steal something, or I should say, assist therein stealing. And it's just kind of been a long day, right? Like you've had a lot of stuff on your mind today. A lot of stuff happened, and unfortunately for you, brother can't catch a rest. As you finally drift to sleep, your eyes close, everything just kind of goes dark for a moment. And for you, it feels like your eyes immediately open again. And you are back in a particularly familiar hallway with 4 doors, all of which are currently open. Tiny wisps of mist interlocking all of them in a sense, connecting. However, there is light in this hallway. The darkness that was there before, completely gone. Just ambient light seems to emanate from basically all points. But you are back in this hallway, facing that metal door with several locking mechanisms. But you were at the bottom of the stairs, as you seem to always have been every time you've been beckoned, summoned, harassed. What do you do?
Zed, obviously being familiar with where this is now, hating it more and more every time. He's just going to let out just kind of an audible sigh and drop his head to one side and almost just kind of shake his head. No, this fucking shit again. He's just gonna walk. He's gonna walk all the way to the end of the hallway. As he's walking, he's gonna be patting his pockets to see if they're basically empty, like the last time.
They are empty. And each step that you take, something feels different. You don't know what. Your footsteps still feel like yours. The ground, the wood that you're walking on, the deck still feels like wood. But there's just something feels different. Something, it's kind of like a sixth sense that, you don't know you have. It's just kind of off-putting.
So as Zed's walking down the corridor here, I'm assuming he's soon gonna get to this first open door, and he's gonna peer through and did the scene that was there before change.
It's the same scene, but you look in, and this time there is something different about it. It's the same scene, but there is someone else there. And you can't really tell who from, where you are. But there appears to be some kind of maybe feminine form kneeling down, maybe glossing over or glancing over this large creature, maybe a singular cut or slash, a gash in its scales. And it seems to be kneeling or on its knees, maybe in, you're not sure what.
He'll stop walking toward the door at the end of the hallway, and he'll turn and just get kind of right to the entryway of this doorway. Just for stepping through. Do I have any sense that whatever this new creature or entity is, do they notice me at all, or do I have any inkling of that?
So give me an insight. All right. So they are definitely aware of your presence. You can't really see a lot of features. It looks like they have like a robe or like a cape or something on, so it obscures a majority of like the features. But it's kind of draped over them that you can tell that they're more slender. And with the Nat 20 insight, they definitely are aware you're there, but they're just not really acting on it. It seems like they are more interested in this creature they're inspecting than you being there. And you probably even gather, like, when somebody is like, you're coming up on somebody and they don't directly turn to look at you, but like their head movement, kind of like they're looking over their shoulder, kind of thing. A slight tilt to the side.
Body language is kind of displaying that they're aware of me, but just not focusing on me.
Correct.
Is it dark out, or is it daylight in this, like on this other side of this doorway?
It is currently about, it's just a little dark. Like the sun is going down. There's the sun is cresting just barely atop the mountains. It's getting darker.
Okay. Zed's gonna put his hands kind of on either side of the door frame, and he's gonna holler out, "Hey, what happened here?"
And as you call out, the figure seems to stop inspecting the body. Ooh, belch. And it stands. And it starts to turn as it pulls the cloak from atop its head. And you recognize a very familiar face.
Pregnant pause.
And she just stares at you, like, curious.
He's not gonna holler anymore. He's just gonna he's gonna say this out loud, but just more or less kind of to himself. Why are you here?
She peers over to the large creature that seems to be barely alive, hanging on by a thread. Curious. Mostly. After all, how are we to capture and catch your harasser if we don't understand intent? Motive?
So OOC, this is Miriam, right?
It is.
Okay. This is perfect because I was actually thinking about this is okay. So Zed's gonna look back into the hallway, back kind of left, right, around his back, just making sure that he doesn't see anyone around him.
Yep, it's an empty hallway.
He's gonna look back at Lady Miriam and still same volume, almost just kind of speaking to himself. So I was thinking about it, and there was something that I believe I forgot to mention when we were in those ruins. I don't really know what they're called, but at one point there were statues, looked like normal suits of armor, and it felt like they were looking at us. And then the next time we were in that room, they weren't suits of armor no more. They were beings that had almost squid-like faces with tentacles. And separate from that, I've had
Hey,
a
Khalees.
dream or a vision before.
Ooh,
Had to do with
okay.
my crew, and I'm sure if you're in this room here, or whatever I should call it, you've either seen the other ones or you're about to. But they were being chased by an odd ship. Again, very similar to the squid-like, it's got tentacles. Do you know anything about this? Does this have anything to do with Marn?
This seems to be memory, or a threat, or a warning. I have not made my way to the other room yet, so I'll get there when I can.
And what should I be doing? This is third time I've been here now, and there's nothing outside of just old memories and
Old memories still provide tint. There's history, craftsmanship. Not everybody can do something like this. So, it's important to ascertain what parameters and skills these individuals or individual has at their disposal.
well, I would say Torment is one of them.
Perhaps there's more to it than just that. And she stands to her full height, and turns towards the door that you are peering through and starts walking towards it. And you just kind of realize this with your passive perception and insight that she almost just kind of, like in a game where it's like everything feels real floaty. Like each step she takes just seems a lot longer than it should be. Almost as if she's like she's not actually walking as much she is pretending to walk. And she makes her way into to the door because you're kind of standing in the doorway.
Yeah, as soon as she gets up to Zed, he'll back away and like take a step back and just kind of let her go through. But as she gets close to him, he's just gonna look at her, just very puzzled, and just where are we? I know this. I know this ship. But we're not on it.
Well, I cannot provide that actual answer until I've investigated the other rooms. I have suspicions, I have theories, but those will only get so far. Need hard evidence. It's one thing to try to traverse to another plane that you're not sure of. It's another thing to try to traverse to a plane you know is there. Wouldn't you agree? And she nods at you almost like she's aware that you are a seafaring entity, or once were, so you kind of understand the nautical side of things. But
Mhm.
she's kind of wording it in a way that, you know, even if not necessarily through words, but just body language, she's implying, like she's getting the message across. It's easier to traverse charted territory than it is to try and traverse troubled waters that are uncharted.
Yeah.
And she steps
Yeah.
out of the
Zed
steps to the
Zed will
door.
nod and
Shall we?
after you.
She steps to the next door.
As she's stepping to the next door, Zed's gonna look off to his left out of one of the portholes.
So, open sea. As far as the eye can perceive. Calm waters, though. Very calm.
I think, given that this is the first time he's not only seen open sea in a long time, but he's actually standing on what feels to be a ship and feels so close to the water, he almost is going to be a bit entranced and just kind of stare off and really get almost physically lost in like the rocking of the vessel and the creaks of the wood. And he's just going to reach out and kind of put his palm on the wood next to the porthole. And he's just going to pretty much stand there while I'm sure Lady Miriam goes toward this next door. And just kind of gaze out at the water.
All right. Well, that makes this a lot easier. So, you get so lost in staring out into the ocean that you probably weren't even aware that you probably heard the footsteps but didn't really pay it much mind, as you were so entranced and captivated by, almost overwhelmed by nostalgia of the being on the vessel out at sea, that, you know, maybe when you finally come to or snap out of it, she's just kind of standing behind you, to your side, arms behind her back, kind of, just like idle standing, and she just seems to be waiting patiently.
Oh, sorry. You want to check out the next room?
Oh, I've already investigated all of them.
You're pretty fast, I guess. So what you think?
From what I can tell, these all seem to be memories of individuals. Well, things that he has done to individuals. And as I suspected, bit of a threat, not so much a warning. Tell me, the first time you saw these, how did you react?
I hadn't really thought about it. I maybe a bit.
Oh, of course, Khalees.
Well, I know I was a bit distraught because I didn't necessarily understand most of what I was seeing. There was recollections of my crew. There was a graveyard that I know I'd been to before, but I just had the feeling that I shouldn't. What I was seeing wasn't necessarily what I remembered. I felt helpless as I saw someone floating out in the water, and I was a bit frozen and didn't try and wade out to help him.
You feel a light kind of like, not really tug, but just sort of like she puts a hand on your shoulder. And it is, ooh, this is probably going to affect you a little bit more than you think. So you get this like very motherly like feeling, like and considering your background as an orphan, it probably hits you a little bit harder than expected. Like it's that very nurturing kind of a like light hand on the shoulder, kind of like, you know, it's very like welcoming and warm. And then she says, then it sounds like his goal is only to rattle you, drag you down, and break you down piece by piece. Unfortunate for him, I'm here. And there's like this smile that crosses her lips, and she takes her hand off your shoulder and turns to the metal door.
So like as she's saying that, I feel like Zed's gonna have that feeling of you know, hand on the shoulder, and he kind of gets that a bunch, especially recently, going through all this stuff from the rest of the crew here. But yeah, like you said, there was something different about it, to where his eyes just kind of wander to the floor, and then
Oh, shucks,
they
ma'am.
they go up to meet her eyes, and they're just welled up. He's fighting off crying, and he's just looking at her as she says this, and he's speechless at this point. I feel like he's got this like overwhelming sort of sense that a weird void is either being filled or trying to be filled, that he's been aware of but maybe just suppressed. And he's gonna reach into his pockets, and does he have the last time he was here, he only had 3 things, and I think 2 of which he gave to Lady Miriam. Do you remember the things that he had? Does he still have the 3rd? If that's too vague, then I'll mention what it is.
Yeah, just mention it, because I have to go.
Does he still have
through
that
my notes.
talisman?
The coin.
The coin?
Yeah, you still have that. And
Because I think there were the other
see.
2 things were one of them I think was the piece of amethyst, and then the other one was the other crystal, if I'm not mistaken.
oh yeah, you'd have all those.
Well, she has the other 2 things because he gave them to Miriam, unless Zed would have them in this sort of vision / moment.
So I guess I should clarify that now. So the 2 things that you gave her, like when she took her hand off your shoulder, you realize those 2 things are now rested on your shoulder.
Okay. So yeah, so at the very beginning, Zed checked his pockets. I guess they were more or less empty. But he goes to check again because he wants to just make sure. He wants to try and find that coin. And I'm sure in kind of patting himself down, reaching into his pockets, he'll notice that there's just something resting on his shoulder. And he'll grab those 2 shards, and he'll be holding those in one hand, and he'll grab the silver raven sort of talisman coin in his other. And you said Lady Miriam's walking toward the other door.
Well, she looked towards it.
Okay. So he's going to pull this out, and he's going to have he's going to simultaneously be like putting something in a pocket while pulling something else out of a pocket. And he's going to open up his palm, and he's just gonna look at her with a very like hopeful expression, almost like little kid-esque. You have you ever seen this? Do you happen to know what this is, or where it's from?
And this is the coin.
Yeah.
She looks to it. Nothing native of the Feywild.
I've had it for a really long time. Ever since I can remember. It's probably my first possession.
That's all she says. She just kind of goes,
He'll almost get, I guess, a little dejected and, all right, well, maybe not. Is it worth it? He's gonna put it back in his pocket and he'll look up to that door. And as they're both, I guess, kind of looking at the door now, he'll mention to Miriam. So last time I was here, I kept getting tormented by this door, and I don't have any of my tools to try and unlock it. But it seemed like Marn really didn't want me getting in there. However, it was almost taunting me to try. And then the last thing they said was, if I want to save little one, that my time's running out.
well, the only limitation tools is what's available to you in your own. And she turns back to you, and she looks like she has like a closed fist, and you know how like she looks like they're kind of somebody's about to want to like drop something in your hand. She does that, like she has something in her hand that she wants to give you.
Oh, all right. And Zed will reach out.
And she places her hands in yours, and then kind of opens. And there is a tiny representation of your thieves' tools.
All right. They're a bit small. Anyway, you think that should work? I guess then
And then
Zed's gonna start going to town on this door.
So she'll walk to the door like first, because she kind of gives you that as you're looking as she walks to the door and starts inspecting it. And she sees you like try and, get ready to start trying to unlock the door.
It's like trying to
Okay.
figure a grip on the tools and
I doubt that's going to work here. But that's also why I'm here. Oh, and to better answer your question, or to answer your thoughts, this location, it's in your own head, Mr. Zed.
why is it I feel so out of control of things?
Have you ever been in a nightmare where you attempted to flee, but you could not run? Consider that. And then she reaches out towards you, particularly to your forehead. May I?
I
And she places a singular finger atop your forehead, and then a thumb. And it, from you, it's just like she's kind of patting you on the head, but from the side, the external camera view, she kind of reaches into your head and pulls out that little crystal that was in there, that was placed in there.
Oh, that's very odd.
I do believe your little compatriot is on the other side of this door, locked away, probably being tortured. But luckily, I have all the tools that I need to open this door. However, considering this is the first interaction and this door is slightly more, admittedly, complex than anticipated, I would only be capable of doing one particular thing.
All right, that's fine. But if little one's in there, then I gotta get in there.
Well, the power and attunement stored in this particular crystal will only allow me to do, well, to open this door, or be a tool used to actually catch this Mr. Marn. I cannot do both, but I leave the decision to you. And
Why-
like I said, your little one and Mr. Marn are not in the same location. So the OOC, this is kind of a choice A or choice B, but you only get
Yeah.
one, and there's consequence to either.
Wait, for us listening, what's the choice?
Basically, the choice is
It's for
do not
clarification.
use this and attempt to capture Marn later, or to open this door and get little one out, because she cannot do both.
Mm.
The weight of the world upon Zed's shoulders.
Make a choice. Either will have consequences.
Yeah, I want to talk about it with you, but I can't. Like, it's all you.
So I will say OOC. Part of maybe some of the thoughts that some people are having is, and this just dawned on me, is we were kind of led to believe that Miriam was going to help with both of these things, which was part of the reason that we made the deal in the first place with her.
Correct.
I
Right.
don't want to
Doesn't-
bring that up.
Well, so OOC wise, she didn't say at the same time either.
True. So, but she did say that she would help with both. I guess. She's
You have to trust that.
she's well, either
She's hard to trust her.
either that or
Yeah.
it sounds like either way this is kind of a decision that is like, what are you going to do right now?
Yeah.
So
Well, we
Zed-
got to consider that Marn said that little one had a short time, and she just said that little one. She said it very nonchalantly, which was kind of chilling. But she said that he's probably being tortured on the other side, little one.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's pretty dark.
I mean, there's no way that Zed's not gonna. Yeah, that's the thing.
Like, is it
so-
really a choice?
It's more just like considering what's gonna happen when he chooses to save little one.
Yeah.
So Zed's gonna look
But
at
then, but
Miriam.
then the problem is that he kidnapped little one without even a try. Like he could do it again, unless she can somehow
That's what. Yeah.
stop. Unless she can somehow stop him from being able to kidnap little one again. However, he did it.
I was just yeah.
Just grab
So
him again.
Zed's gonna look
That's
at
the tough
Miriam
one.
and basically say, "So we saved little one. I'll still deal with Marn even if he can't help me find him. I'm not scared of Marn. I'm more or less worried about little one, and my only thought is, what's to say it doesn't happen again? If this is the bargaining chip that Marn chose to use last time, we save it, we get it back, and then what? I go to sleep tomorrow and little one's gone again?
Oh, I can assure you that after this, he will not be visiting you in your sleep.
Oh,
Hmm. That
And there's
helps.
like this
Well,
knowing smile. And your little one. You won't have to be worried about that either. Being taken.
right. I will say too, as far as this is again OOC, I know no one else is here, so I want to do like as little, you know, contemplating with the group as possible. But Zed's very much like Zed was on the same page kind of with everyone about the deal in the first place, but he felt kind of the most on the hook because of the situation with Marn and Little One.
right, right.
And
Right.
the
We all
fact that
did.
Miriam's here
Yeah,
with him not only gives him this kind of self this sense of comfort, but then the that whole motherly vibe and all of that. Zed's emotions are all over the place right now, so he's just
Right.
I think he's gonna be fully trusting and basically tell Miriam that he wants to go through the door and save little one.
yeah, because she actually showed up. I mean, she actually showed up. You know, you have different information now about who she is. She showed
Yeah,
up.
right. Yeah, so it seems like she's doing her part, and that she said she could not only open the door and help Zed right now, but going forward, yeah, it sounds like a good situation. So I think Zed's all for it.
So she nods and turns towards the door with this crystal. And as she starts to slowly like push it towards the door, she just kind of utters a couple of things.
Zed's gonna whisper to himself just real quick he's gonna say it in his head, but I don't know if that even matters because she'll probably still hear it. But he's just gonna recall just kind of slowly the key to the mine unlocks the door to madness. And he's gonna just kind of with a questioning gaze look at the door that she's putting this crystal toward.
And what she was about to say, at first, as a woman in my position, I have to vet all who come through, or do my best to. Your group is an interesting bunch. And as she says this, she's also she's putting a crystal to the door and starting kind of like tracing some lines in the door with her finger. Looks like it'll take her a little bit, so if there's like any dialogue you want to have, it could happen while she's in the process.
I think Zed's feeling like this is the closest he's been to getting little one, so he's just kind of he's like probably restless right now.
She's trying to chit chat. He's like,
Yeah.
open the fucking door. How many episodes have we gone with little one missing?
A
How
lot.
many
been a
has
while.
it been? It's been a lot,
30.
right? 30? Has it been
It
30?
hasn't been that many.
Wow.
It's been
Gosh.
like a good 10.
So,
Gee.
I suppose you're
Wow.
aware of the. Then maybe you're not. You definitely have an interesting group.
Right?
Hmm.
Zed's just nodding. Yeah.
And you two,
I
Mr.
love it.
Zed.
I can see it. Like his palms
Yeah.
are sweaty, his cheeks are red, his like eyes
And
are
he's eating mom spaghetti.
dilated.
Well, I can definitely say I will keep you and yours safe as best I can within my reach. It takes truly interacting with someone to know their true nature. There are things that I'm not even sure you're aware of about yourself. I saw it. And at this point, she's like 2/3 of the way done. Because, the symbol's starting to fill in. And like the glow coming from her finger, tracing like a rune into the door. It seems like it's just about complete. You certainly have quite a journey ahead of you. Your friends, I surmise, will as well. I look forward to seeing how this story is told. And at that point, she finishes and takes a step back. And you can see the runes that she's carved into the door with her index finger start to sizzle into the door. And how the design has been very intricately placed. All the lines lead to this little crystal that she has settled into the door. And at that point, it flashes and the door burns away like a spider web being set aflame. And inside this, somewhat empty room appears to be Little One chained down. Well, I mean, it's not heavy chains because it's a small creature, but basically Little One like tied down, and they look very, very unhealthily like skinny, like they haven't eaten anything in a very long time, like they've practically been starved. And you can even tell like a little bit of the color may be kind of fading from the amethyst, like it's sort of like turning like a little milky color.
Miriam, I got one favor, or less for little one than me, but I've got gold pieces. I don't have them on me. Can you? I don't know if I can borrow some from you or what, but can you give me like 5 pieces of gold? Is that possible?
1 sec. I gotta check something for her. Plus that. Of course. Take all you need. I'm guessing you aim to feed him.
I just need it for food.
She takes a step in. And at this point, you can kind of walk in. It's not a very big room. It's sort of like on a little raised, like not really altar, but just sort of a raised portion of the room. A stone tab, as it were. Kind of similar to what you had that one nightmare about when he was kind of ripping your
Mhm.
organs out.
Mhm.
And she just walks up and places a finger on all of the bindings that keep this, small creature down, and they just dissolve. And she gently picks up the creature. It's been a long time since I've seen one of these around. And she very gently offers it to you, offers a little one to you.
Yeah, I think Zed's gonna walk over kind of hastily and grab it in his arms and start to kind of try and feed it a couple of these gold pieces. There, little one. I told you we'd be fine.
Nice jaw.
And you saw, actually, give me a perception.
All right.
See if he notices.
Oop, almost clicked the wrong thing. Oh no.
Okay. You're not really sure what or how, but it almost looked like a little bit of the coloration started to come back to little one's scales just as soon as she touched them. But you're not really sure how or why or what. Maybe she did something to help with that, maybe not.
Yeah, I think he's just excited and distracted and focusing on little one.
What?
And as you're in the process of like just finally being reunited with what feels like, a family member that was stolen away from you. She turns, places a hand on your shoulder, she walks by, gives a light nod, and just starts to walk to the stairs. Without even saying a word. Just kind of like, kind of leaving you in the moment to, basically you get the feeling she doesn't really want to spoil this moment for you.
Mm-hmm.
So very much like, I'll give them their privacy.
As she's walking by, probably getting towards the door, thank you, Lady Miriam. He's just gonna look back down to the little one and almost kind of like a parent with a baby, just like Gucci Gucci goo. Ooh,
And she just,
let's get you out of here.
and just under her breath, she starts to walk out. And definitely directed towards you, but just sort of like in passing. I've measured your heart. You are safe here. And with that, she crosses the threshold, and the crystal that she used seems completely and utterly drained of color. But she takes it anyway, and just kind of walks up the stairs and out. And at that point, you wake up with everybody else. Yay!
Oh,
Yay!
yay!
And Little's
yeah.
with him.
And
Is
also,
where is
the description.
where is
So when you start feeding little one coins, he slowly started to eat.
oh.
When Zed wakes up, is Little with him now?
Well, let's see what everybody else. No, just kidding. Yeah. So
Like,
when you
roll
wake
me a
up,
D100.
little one is laying next to you, coiled up.
Wow.
Yes.
So Zed'll have like this big, he'll kind of curl up with little one and then all of a sudden just realize like I don't want to like coddle this small, like, weak dragonling too hard. It's probably not feeling too great right now, but he's just gonna kind of sit up, and he'll be sitting down and have it just resting in his lap.
Oh, good morning, you guys. Oh, what?
Charles,
What?
what happened?
What?
Look.
Chop runs over, drops down on the ground, slams into Zed, like, into the side, like, very gently, is like, just touching little one. He's
It's
he's
back.
here.
It's
He's
back.
here.
It's a
It
Christmas
worked.
miracle.
It worked. Hey,
Josh,
listen to me. Ah!
Josh, he did it. It was Miriam.
She was
I
there.
had the same dream. I was in the same ship with all the doors and one big door that's locked. And then I looked in the first door, and there was this cloaked, hooded figure, just very thin. And I yelled out, like, "Why are you here?" or something. And then it ended up being Miriam. She was very somewhat cryptic at first, and then she looked around and basically she used a crystal that was in my head to open this locked door. But, well, anyway, we saved
It
little one.
worked. It worked.
To which
Little
Shaw
one.
yelling is probably waking everybody else up, by the way.
Oh yeah, he doesn't care now. This is like, forget it. Look at him. He's been. Chad starts to get really like there's some rage on his face, but then he pulls it back. He doesn't want to feel that in this moment either. He's like, he's alive. That's good. You did it, Zed. You did it.
Definitely gonna, in that moment, just as Chow's saying that, we're gonna probably start going through the secret handshake and come up with another
Exactly.
sequence for this moment.
Yes.
Is it up, down, left, right, or is it up, down, left, left?
Left, down,
Select
left,
start.
right, left.
Yeah, select start first. Select start at
Right.
the end.
Isn't it up, down, left, right, BA start?
That's a different world, though.
Yeah. You right.
I could
I can
still just
imagine like a
OOC.
yeah.
I could still rattle off cheat codes from like the old school Vice City.
Oh my god.
Don't worry, we'll have
Spawn
a
a
dance.
Harrier.
We'll have a Dance Dance Revolution version of your high five, and it'll just be like High Five Revolution.
I imagine like the whole scene sort of turning to like a sepia tone and going into slow motion with like artistically drawn like flash forwards of everybody rejoicing at little one's return and like cool
Mhm.
classic music like in the background, and
Opal's just there. I have never
it's like
met
an
this
like
creature
an
before in my
anime
life.
credit scene.
It's like, well, yeah, it's like in the lofty highborn, this huge party, and like little ones just getting thrown up in the air above the crowd. And
There's a shot of Cha
Crowd
like explaining to
surfing.
Opal.
Right,
Cha's
right.
explaining to Opal and Sari who little one is and everything we've
Well,
done
Opal
to get
knows
them.
who little one is. She would know.
Yeah.
An adorable little gem dragon.
Oh, here, as befits the occasion, I need to give back the world's most comfortable pillow to Zed, and maybe he can place the little one upon it.
Nice.
Oh, sweet.
I knew. See, there was a use for that pillow all along.
I've just been
Comfortable
been holding
pillow in
it.
the world. Oh.
Oh, she's just beautiful.
Aw.
So Miriam also said, well, she said that we've got a very interesting group here. They had to agree. But that, well, basically, while we're here, kind of in her realm and wherever she's got any sort of power or reign, she said that we'll all basically be safe under her watch
Oh, that's sweet.
as much as she obviously can.
Marn
Hmm.
can't take him again. Can't take you again?
She alluded to that. She also kind of said that, well, the whole crystal thing that she gave me could only more or less be used, at least right now, for one thing or the other. And that'd be either finding Little One or finding Marn. Obviously, I made the choice that I had.
Of course.
Oh,
But that
No other
that
choice.
does mean that Marn's, while we do have the potential protection of Miriam, Marn's out there somewhere.
Can't wait to get my hands on that fella.
Did you?
Who knows
Did
how
you?
many other people he's doing this kind of stuff to? We need to stop him.
Oh, he's an evil one for sure.
Did you ask her what you could do to potentially get another one of those? Or
Well, there was some sort of like rune or inscription or something. She was using the crystal, and then she was, I don't know if she was drawing something or if she was outlining something that was there that I couldn't see, but it seemed like the crystal was more or less just kind of drained by the end of it, and she ended up keeping it. So maybe, now this is a stretch, but maybe that piece that we gave her that used to be Chaw's ring could be used to like charge up this crystal again, because she did allude that it could be used as something in that sort of manner. Maybe she knew this was going to happen. She needed something to be able to recharge said crystal, and it just takes time.
I see.
So maybe she's not the horrible leader I thought she might be. Hey, that's good. My faith
know-
in leaders might be returning, at least a shred of it.
You know, Cha, considering she was talking to Zed in his dreams, I don't think shit talking her is a great idea.
I mean, especially considering the fact that she was talking about how interesting the rest of us were. And Niavara had, like, snuck in the back, trying not to interrupt things.
It seemed like she was very fond of all of us. At least, she said right before she left that, well, something like she'd found that we've got, good hearts, and obviously we aren't bad, so
See, she understands why I was shit talking her. And Cha kind of looks around up into the rafters and around the room like, she's probably been listening to us the whole time. Hey, Lady Miriam, if you're not a horrible despot, thank you for helping us. It's wonderful. You know, I get the feeling she likes dark humor, so she's probably okay with it.
I pictured Chaz just like thumbs upping the rafters of the room.
It's
Black
the end of a
fingernail.
sitcom. It's a sitcom ending. Cha just looks towards a random wall and gives a smile and a thumbs up.
Womp, 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 womp.
Exactly.
Very. Your
Cha likes
optimism, Cha.
scratches, though.
Hmm.
Why optimism? Look at us.
Everything being
We're a
considered,
jolly crowd.
Speak for yourself.
everything being considered, now that you do have little one back, is it a safe idea to take it anywhere else. Who's saying that the moment we leave her territory, little one's not going, or little one just vanishes again.
You know, we should clarify what is the extent of the protection from Marn's attacks. Like,
My thoughts
is it across the
exactly.
plains? Is it across? I mean, for example, Tio Moonblade was able to contact me across the plains, just out of thin air when we were back in the temple. So if she
Well,
has power that can go across the plains, then
I don't know, obviously, but it just gave me a good feeling knowing that we've at least got someone else on our side, and if she can help, then that's great. But if it's up to us still, then still like our chances.
Holy balls, a raid.
it's worth it. I'd give up all magic items to have little one here. Look at he's so cute.
Hey, thank you for the raid.
Did
Poly-
Marn starve
Polyhedra
and
T?
torture you, little
Hedra?
guy?
Hedra.
Don't you
Do we have a
worry, you're gonna
file
get
photo of little
better.
one that you can post up here?
It already did. Well, sort of.
I think
Oh
there
yeah,
was.
I put a GIF that was
It's adorable.
the closest I could see, but
Thank you
I
for the
thought
raid.
that,
Welcome
GIF.
in, Raiders.
I thought that Cubed had an official
Oh, now it
official
plays.
press
That's weird.
photo that he
That was
showed
way
before, but
delayed.
maybe not.
But
I think there was
welcome
at some
on
point.
in. Hello, hello.
I don't remember.
I am Cubed. I am the dungeon
Basically,
master
like
goodness.
of the Fallen.
picture the one that Child posted in the Discord, and just
Yeah,
an
except it's
amethyst,
crystalline.
crystal, and dragon. Yeah.
Gosh,
And hello,
little
hello,
one,
hello,
you really have
everybody.
had a hard, fucked up life so far,
Try not
haven't
to
you?
talk too much over them because
My
Opal's just
goodness.
going to walk up behind Shaw,
But
lightly
thank you for the raid.
smack him on the head, and
For
go,
any inquiring
"Stop
minds,
stop reminding little one about
it helps
that."
us out a lot
Right
if
now, what
Well,
you need to
hit
do
that
is make
refresh
sure that
button
little one has the
because
best life
apparently
they can.
Twitch doesn't count people as
I think what I was
views
realizing is that he's a
unless
lot
people
like a
hit the
lot
refresh
of
button.
us.
So if you're not lurking,
That
by
I
all
was just
means, I
thinking that
appreciate it.
we've all kind of come from
Yeah.
similar
Absolutely.
places.
Buck wild
Which is weird.
beginnings, except for Kozik, who Nevar glances around the room.
Well, let me get the shout out, by the way.
Oh yeah, he was
Yeah.
fine. No
Unless
problem.
it's something
Well, what were your
absolutely
big problems
bizarre.
in childhood, Kozik? Do you have any big
Yes.
problems in childhood?
Me?
Mhm.
Or is this
Tell us your
didn't work.
childhood
Me?
That did
trauma.
not work.
You better start coming up with something quick, or you're out of the group.
That's right. If you don't have super bad parental trauma, you're. How can you
I-
be in the Fell company?
There we go. That was weird.
I grew up in comparative luxury, but you know, everybody has struggles. I kind of pull at my collar.
Well, you think
Such
about it,
as?
Kozik.
I mean,
So,
something.
Growing up in luxury is a terrible, terrible
How was
burden.
your?
My
Let's see, what were your-
father
right?
wasn't around as much as I wish that he was around. He had
How was
a
your
lot of
D&D?
responsibilities, and I was left alone.
Hopefully
But
you
what does
had
this
a
have
good
to do with
time over
anything?
there.
Hey, there you go. That's pretty good.
Is this a trauma comparison?
No.
I feel like we should maybe, let's not just
It's-
start.
Let's
I'm
not
just
start a
messing
race to the
around.
bottom, guys.
I'm just like, little one, it's gonna get all better from here, buddy. That's what I meant. Don't you worry. Look at him so tuckered out. Gosh.
Right now, should we leave little one somewhere we can, or with someone we can trust, while we do our day-to-day adventuring and whatnot?
And go absolutely destroy Marn.
Yes,
And
exactly.
Neavara puts a little smile on her face as she says that.
Oh yeah. You don't think
Think-
little one would want to be there to see that though?
It
I
isn't
Uh,
that.
I don't really feel comfortable not having little one around now that obviously
Yeah,
'cause
he's got us
it's
to
been so
protect
long.
him.
But I do like. I feel like that's
understand
maybe
that,
coming from a place of emotion and maybe not
Oh.
really thinking it. Opal, you might be onto something. And to be honest, the only person that I can think of that makes sense is probably Tiffany.
I think that's for the best, said. Of course, if you want to keep little one around, I'm not going to force you to give him up.
You don't think Alan will take care of little one? Alan,
Mm.
you're a good mother, aren't you?
I don't
But-
trust Alan to take care of Alan.
That's fair.
Yeah, I guess you got a point there. Yeah.
But
These fae folk hide
Mittens?
great power.
Mittens, were you a mother when you were a living cat?
Mittens just licks his
She-
paws.
Okay, maybe you're onto something. Jeez.
Tiffany
Just got him
probably
back. Do we
could.
have to talk about not being with him already? Come on, you guys.
Really?
I'm
I
not
know,
saying
Really?
I hate the idea, but
I'm
Do
not
we
saying that we never
wanna-
see him again. I say we leave him with somebody we trust. We aren't going anywhere yet, are we?
I think we
I
should
say
go
it's
get a
up to-
custom-made suit of chainmail for him.
Chainmail does not do a lot of protection against gods.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it'll look cool.
It would, but again, remind
Get
me
him a
how
little
little one was
helmet.
abducted from this group
I think
again.
I have to say, I think it's Zed that's going to know just what to do. Just follow your heart, Zed.
Yeah.
Whatever you think is needed.
I will.
Sid, you're the
I will take
papa.
whatever answer you give me.
Zed's just kind of nodding, looking around the room, and he's gonna look at little one, and he's gonna be, "All right, little one, I think it's your choice. You want to stay here at the Lofty Highborn with Miss Tiffany and be in the town here that, well, Miss Lady Miriam has utmost control over, or would you like to go with us?" Obviously, that's just for now, because we're going to some sort of ruined dungeon to maybe get back into danger.
We're
So-
Can I
going
ask you
to
a question,
take
Zed?
care of the
Can I
guy
ask
who
you a question?
kidnapped you.
Right?
Hey, Zed, did Lady Miriam say for sure that he's only protected here in this area? Is that
No.
you? Or is he just protected now, no matter where he goes?
I don't think it's necessarily all encompassing, but it didn't seem like it was just rooted to this city or town specifically.
Right. Okay.
Oh, see, she did say that he could not come at you that way again.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
she
That's
said,
what
like,
I.
he can't attack you that way anymore.
Like it gave, so yeah, OOC, it gave me the impression that little one would be safe at least from Marn while it's with
Actually, I
us.
looked it up. That's not how raids work.
But
Weird. It's
given
different.
that we were given the place
That's
that we
weird.
were almost just basically about to go to,
It
it
kind of
would be
works that
kind
way.
of going
Kind
from
of doesn't.
like out of the furnace and into the fire sort of deal.
Suppose.
Learn something new every day.
Well, let's spend the day with him at least.
Certainly.
Of course. I think you guys have spent much.
Let's go buy him a bunch of different foods. See what kind of different maybe like platinum or lead or
Hmm.
different alloys, different combos.
Hmm.
Maybe an iron with a fleck of steel in it or something.
I have been curious. Zed, if you do not mind, do you mind if I hold little one?
That's fine.
Opal will go to grab little one, holding him carefully, of course.
He is soundly resting.
Little baby.
This is more or less why I thought just kind of leaving him here for now to rest. I know going out, spending the day, it sounds like a lot of
See-
fun, and we're gonna do that,
No,
of course.
you're
But
right. You're right.
it's
We should
literally
chill. We should
just
chill.
go back.
Let's just hang here. Let's have a late morning. Order some
Well,
breakfast.
We got that.
Oh yeah, we have our coin.
Who's
Yeah.
got
Let's have
a
a
coin?
feast.
Whose turn is it?
Ah, shit.
Yeah, whose turn is it?
I think it's Opal's.
Wrong.
Opal.
I didn't grow up anywhere extravagant.
That's okay.
Opal,
It's not
a
a need for
fucking orphan.
extravagant.
that grew up under the
Yeah.
docks of the worst part of town.
Just good hearty fare will do.
We just need food.
I grew up in the pit of Satan's. Our food was delicious.
A pit of
Go
Satan.
for it.
Thank you, thank you, Ja.
Whole team
So
of
I'm
Satan.
always trying to come up with different ways of saying the same thing, you know. The bunker of Beelzebub.
That's right.
All right. Hand over the coin.
Oh yeah, I think I was the last one. Here you go.
Yay.
She pulls it out of her pocket and hands it over.
Can't wait. Cha rubs his hands together and licks his lips.
And
Oh,
this out of character, this coin creates any kinds of food that would just naturally appear in one's childhood or past. Yes.
Oh no, that's just been our choice. Yeah, just whatever you think
It's
of.
literally
pick whatever you want. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the next time Cha gets it, he's gonna try to go full fantasy. Like it's not gonna be anything real.
Gotcha. Alrighty. Opal takes the coin and I'm assuming uses it immediately. And coming forth from this coin is a bunch of wild cut game. Like you see, I'm assuming D&D has wild boars. Cooked. There's bacon. There is... I'm not sure you would call it grits in this world, but I'm going to say grits.
Sure.
There are biscuits, there's bread, there is tea and drinks of all kinds. And just any good morning breakfast food you can think of.
Hey, Opal, could you add some fruit in there and a few vegetables, maybe?
Yes. A bowl of fruit and carrots appear. Is that good enough, everybody?
That looks wonderful. Thank you so much.
It really does. This is what you grew up with?
I mean, I did grow up with my father. He was a hunter, and well, this is typically
That's
what I-
terrific.
Yeah. Typically, it wasn't so much of it, but I hope everybody enjoys.
It's a fantastic coin. I love that. Where
Sweet.
did you get that coin? That's just something.
Where did we get that coin?
A tale long forgotten to time.
Isn't that?
It was like 4 days
Cozy
ago.
One?
Was it 4 days ago? I think you're right, actually.
Didn't we-
We've
we
only
won
used
it
it 4
in a-
times.
It was at the fair, yeah.
It was at the
that right?
fair.
Contest.
Same
the-
place
was that the
Kozak got his
goblin tossing?
boots. Place where Kozak got his boots that he has to click 19 times before he can just float in the
Right, my invisible sabot.
air.
19.
Do you, little one? Cha holds up like a glass of orange juice, not knowing what it is exactly. Just like, to you. Oh, little one. Look at him sleeping all curled up like that. Look, there's a little bit of like smoke coming out of his nostrils.
He's so precious.
I
Now
really hope
everybody.
his childhood trauma doesn't turn him into a horrifying monster when he's older.
Ja, there's a time and place.
Oh gosh, I really do just speak what I'm thinking. Sorry, guys.
Are you a horrifying monster, Shaw?
Hey, there. See, yeah, that's fair. See, we're complicated. We're complicated.
I would say that you're much less a monster than myself, but barring that.
Shaw sort of crinkles his eyebrows together and is like, doubt that. But thanks for the encouragement.
Cha, you can't be serious.
No, I'm just playing. You're definitely much more horrifying than I am.
Still believe it.
What?
I still believe in a lot of it, and you know that. At least you're out of it on your own.
That's true. Wait, you didn't get out of it on your own?
And she considers it. I loved Veldrin more than I feared our mother.
Oh. Well, that's good. Veldrin was a good influence, yeah.
And she gives a smile. Servant of lol.
Yeah, Cha's Veldrin was
A loyal servant of Lolth.
see, to Opal and Sari, Veldrin was Niavara's brother that started the campaign with us. And yeah, they were a drow as well, and had a
Okay.
skeleton hand, like a skeletal hand that nobody ever talked about or asked about. Veldrin was very, very few words. Like you could ask them the simplest thing and very few words. And it was very like delightfully unsettling.
Oh, that's lovely.
And yeah, Veldrin was great.
And to Sari, do you, the player, know what Lolth is?
Know what is?
Lolth.
Ah,
I do not.
Not exactly.
here, I'll put a picture
Loaf?
on the thing.
Loaf?
Lolth.
The god that
Lolth.
Veldrin followed as a paladin.
Oh,
Or goddess.
okay.
See if there are any good
Queen of
gifts on
Spiders.
I'll just
Goddess of Drow. Goddess of cruelty, betrayal. Really evil goddess, basically.
Jeez.
Here's a good picture if it lets me post it. Let's see here. Oh no. Hold on.
Yikes.
Thrived
Did it
upon
go up?
torture, destruction, and death. Is her
Oh.
vibe.
Great. And this is who
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 Veldrin worshipped, yeah.
Veldrin worshipped. Wow.
Yeah.
You need
There
a
you go.
form
There's a
real
good
quick.
picture of Lolth. There's a lot of really good
Wow.
good artwork of the Spider Queen.
Wow.
She has a super
There it is.
complicated backstory, Lolth.
She also done
So,
messed
yeah.
up.
There's that picture.
Who's this cubed?
Little one.
That was
Oh,
little one's artwork there.
Wow.
Crystal Dragon.
So, would Sari know that? I don't know. However, I figured that I would double check that the player would know that.
Oh, about Lolth. Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
She's probably pretty famous across the plains, I would guess.
Up until she died.
Yep. Dead goddess. Whee!
Yay.
Well, most of the thing is that the drow in this world are gone, basically. They were obliterated.
Right.
Yeah, so
Well, was that in the Feywild or was that the material plane where they?
so
where
the
that all
story,
happened?
as you guys know it, is Lolth overstepped her bounds. She mobilized the drow into basically invading the surface, and in the process of her invading the surface, she pretty much got everybody rallied against her, which not only did they push them back, but they went on the offensive after, the drow had to retreat. And basically, everybody said, well, fuck those guys then. So they just kind of, drow were effectively extinct for a while. And all
Mhm.
Murdered all the drow.
as a result of a singular goddess's hubris.
So
wow. And
Neavara
so
has
how did Neavara get make it through
Neavara
that?
is a child of many conflicts, internal conflicts. She has a lot of internalized loyalty to the drow cause. Given that like she was abandoned as a child and raised by them. Like traded as for an infant. But like she also is mad because she sees other people have good lives that she didn't get to have, including her own siblings.
But she's not actually a drow.
Nope.
Right.
She calls
she's a
herself one,
change.
but she's not.
Right.
She comes across as that's what she actually is drow, and then can change into other stuff. But
right.
yeah,
So yes, but this is I don't know what Sari knows, but I'm realizing that you might not, as a player, know all this information.
Well, I did just find the wiki page about the Forgotten Realms, and I did just read about the history of the Feywild, so that sounds a little bit familiar.
yeah, this is a little different. I think on the material plane, Cubed is saying that there was a war that practically wiped out all drow, killed the Spider Queen, and but was that on the material plane or was that across planes? That I wasn't sure about.
I mean, the drow were gone, and nobody's heard any whispers of a goddess, so... I mean, that's as far as what you
Except-
guys know.
Until Veldrin, but Neavara is not mentioning anything Veldrin saw.
Yeah, I don't think you ever told us, any of us,
Like-
that he
Like
was
the
connected
drow
to the
would
Spider
still...
Queen.
So, as far as their history goes, like, they're aware of what happened, right? It's sort of that cautionary tale, like, when you have that much power and you become that arrogant, this is the consequence. It's not just you, it's everybody under you and the entire future of, who follows you. And that's sort of the cautionary tale that is spoken when they speak of Lolth. They don't speak of her as like the evil entity. It's more like she fucked up and she got us killed.
Mm-hmm.
It would be wise for us to not make that mistake twice. And also kind of being a little bit aware that the simple fact that the drow exists now is nothing short of, I would say, a miracle, but in reality, nothing short of the events that transpired as one of the very first campaigns I ever ran.
Ah, cool.
But anywho,
Very nice. But so yes, so she brushes down her front like, yes, I followed a completely different, a separate religion from them, but I held a lot of loyalty to my family. And she sort of shrugs. So yes, if you couldn't tell, I still quite obviously follow a lot of the things I was taught, Jaw. You are not a monster by comparison.
Okay. Fair enough.
So no angsting about that. At the very least, you're trying to be different.
Yeah.
Not.
so
That was a delicious breakfast.
Happy to hear. Now shall we get a move on? Decide what we're going to do.
Mittens bats at one of the biscuits.
Oh, Mittens, you are
Adorable.
just something. And Chow will give some a little piece of bacon to Alan. Be like, "Hey, Alan, this creature's much larger than you. Why don't you eat it?"
Okay. and he takes as big a piece as you give him and stuffs it in his jaw, and he's got the big old like squirrel jaws.
Hey, useful. You can store food in your cheeks. I should try that sometime.
Little did we know, Alan was a bag of holding this whole time.
I mean, have you seen how much squirrels can put in their mouths? I'm just saying. So, what would the group like to do? It's a brand new morning. You guys just had breakfast. You have little one back, who is soundly sleeping, and a lot of the coloration in the amethyst is returned.
Child's gonna do some morning exercises and a little meditation with little one sitting in his lap while he meditates before we head out. But then he'll be like, guess we need to have a talk with Tiffany if she's down there, huh? Hey, Zed, you gave her the flowers, yeah?
Oh, well, kind of.
Yeah?
So,
Does she like them?
don't really know yet. I more or less kind of put them somewhere where she'd find them.
Oh. Did he leave a card or a candy?
There was a bit of a note there.
Hey, nice.
I wasn't sure if we would have been gone yet. And if we were, then I kind of thought it'd be something for her to find and, just reminder of me.
Oh, just imagine how she's gonna look at you when you go downstairs.
If she found it, give me a D100. D100.
All right.
Okay, continue.
Terrifying. Thank you.
It's hard to say. Sometimes a low number is good, or a high number is good. We never know.
It will forever be left.
He keeps us on our toes. Oh, wow. I'm so impressed with Lady Miriam. She followed through. It was all worth it. Yavara, you ready to kill a god of death sometime today or tomorrow?
Oh, God willing, let's go.
Let's do it.
Well, I'm gonna drink about a gallon or two of water, and I'm gonna go for a little bit of a walk. So I'll be back.
Wild water is really good.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'll see you guys in a little bit. I need a little bit of that.
Nursing the hangover still.
Right.
So you guys are heading downstairs then?
Chocolate milk is on me.
Sure.
Yep.
All right. So you guys make your way downstairs, and it's pretty quiet. I mean, it is early in the morning. There's probably a few people in, but they're probably not really drinking. It's more food. So you definitely get the aroma, the aromatics of freshly cooked food and meats and seasonings, and maybe a hint of maybe a fresh loaf of bread coming out of an oven. It's breakfast time.
Imagine if the whole world had coins like ours. No one would ever be hungry again.
And alternatively, taverns would go out of business.
Oh yeah, that would be sad.
It's a good question. Would you rather have capitalism and hunger, or a system where everyone is equally taken care of, but no barter system?
Capitalism. Kozix. And he kind of dusts off some sort of gold, a little gold filigree or whatever he's got on his clothes here.
Cha does like a tight smile and kind of nods. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
But yeah, it's not too busy. What do you guys want to do? Are you going outside? You hanging around?
I think we're
Because right
seeing
now
if
you
Tiffany's
guys are
around.
pretty, for the most part, free until something happens. For the most part.
So is Tiffany around?
This hour she's not.
Okay. Can we check with the
'Cause-
concierge?
Because she
to
was
see if we
very
have-
busy last night, so probably
Yeah.
sleeping in.
Can we check with the check-in concierge and see if we got a message at all from the Adventurers Guild from the day before?
Yeah, you can check. There isn't one.
Okay. All right. What's the plan, everybody? Are we heading to that temple? Do you want to go talk to Lady Miriam in person, since she's, in this world, and she says that we're cool, I guess?
I'm ready to go walk about and go back to this dungeon.
I'm with Kozik here. I'm not gonna
It doesn't
lie. I
seem so
think
scary.
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I think we might have to go on a waiting list to talk with Lady Miriam again.
So then we need to leave Little One with Tiffany, but she's not here, so we'd need to find
Oh.
Tiffany.
So OOC, Zed asked Little One what he wanted to do, and I don't
Oh,
think we ever
right,
got an
right.
answer.
Because he was sleeping. Okay. So we can't really leave unless we get an answer. Unless we take him with.
Yeah, it's either if Little One wants to stay here while we go and we'll be back hopefully like later in the day, or if he just wants to go with us.
I mean, I could tell you now he would be indifferent. Probably a bit weak though. So you'd probably surmise you might not necessarily want to take him out doing stuff, because the color
Yeah,
is
that
coming back to his
magic.
scales, but he's also not in the best of condition either. But
Hey,
you
I
could
have
take
an
him
idea.
anyway.
How about we take him over to Sarah's, and she can watch him while we go to the dungeon, and then we can ask Tiffany and Sarah to check up on him and take care of him while we're out.
Guess the question is, what specific words do you say to him? But Zed stepped away, so we can come back to that.
Okay. Hey, Sari. Oh wait, she went walking. Okay, we're a split party here.
Uh-huh. I wonder why she had to head off, though. I mean, obviously, hangover aside, God willing, that poor girl.
Did you mess with her last night? You have a smile on your face.
And she's like, I merely was practicing my best efforts on a very willing participant who may or may not recall any of it.
Very
I
fun.
By
didn't
the
touch her.
way,
Hmm.
how did your little heist go? I walked by the place in the middle of the night, around midnight, and there were
Mhm.
people on the street talking to authorities. It was a commotion, so I snuck around the whole thing. Like, what happened?
Oh, there were cops.
There were people. They were like giving stories about noise, about yelling.
Yeah. We initially had Sari with us. She was quite drunk, quite loud, and I was trying to use her as a how do I say this nicely? Distraction.
As bait?
Yeah.
Ugh,
Ah.
my Niavara.
You see, this is why you guys should be glad I'm not a cleric devoted to the mockery. I would consider it my divine mandate to corrupt someone like Sari.
You can only take steps down, right?
uh,
In any case,
Sari might be a tough cookie to corrupt.
in any
But you see,
case, let's hope that
the
they
point
didn't.
being,
Nobody saw your faces.
Anyway, right. Nobody saw
That you
you,
know
and
of.
she,
and you snuck in and out. It was amazing. I tried to imagine your heist, and can't even
it
imagine.
went flawlessly, and I'm here with my prize. And she holds it up.
Hey,
Miavara gets tackled by a guard.
insight check.
Ah.
Did it go flawlessly?
Okay,
17.
Nevarro. Oh no. Come on, Nevar, pull through.
Come on.
Deception. Disgrace. You can tell she's lying. Like there's a twitch to something to her eyes. She's a little bit
Right.
irritated about something.
Chow's like, yeah, flawlessly. Good work.
Oh,
Well,
yes, you're correct. It did, in
I
fact,
can
go off.
only imagine the incredible, deftness in your technique of sneakily sliding into the building using your abilities, using your intense training and background. Chow looks over at Zed too.
May we see the button?
She holds it up as she's like, technically speaking, I actually don't know quite what it is. It's fine, Zedrin. Even though they know that we're lying, we don't have to admit how bad things got.
Oh God, it was that bad.
The
No,
cops are on them. Or the
no,
cops.
they're on Sari because Sari was quite loud.
You mean she really was bait? I was joking.
Yeah. No, she was bait. She was extremely drunk, and we had her yelling in the street.
God.
Niavara, I have the mending spell, but I don't think that can fix this.
I guess it's
But
all
she's
okay
fine.
since the shopkeeper did invite them to actually pull this heist off. They're probably not in any danger.
Hopefully,
Yes.
Sari is just under suspicion of public disturbance or whatever.
Well, I'm
That's
sure
all
Zed
it
was there to save the day, right, Zed? You totally
Yes.
pulled out your tools and you got into all the locks and you snuck around everywhere. Yeah?
100% he did. Nevar is going to attempt a performance to sell the story.
Oh,
There you go.
It's like you were there, Chaw. It's strange.
Wow. I can only imagine. Since Shaw knows that you're lying and that it didn't go well, he's just enjoying the show, which is really well done, apparently.
You've seen us work before, Chaw. Come on. It's
Gosh.
easy.
A spy and a pirate. It's literally written in the setup to the
Right?
perfect joke.
Astounding.
It's like it's the first chapter
levels
of how
skill.
of like the robbery manual.
Gosh,
Come
I
on.
mean, to make a whole play based on your incredible skill, people would be awed at the mastery.
It would
I
be a
mean-
boring play. It'd be really short because it was so
It-
quick and
it
actually
expeditious
was.
and
You were
efficient.
in and out in 1 minute, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe a minute
probably.
20.
Maybe even
not even not a minute, I would say, but like we were there for like 10 minutes max. And even though Niavar has like been shitting her like lying, that is true. They were very quick.
Hmm.
They did
That
it
would be a
poorly.
That would be a
quickly.
good name for a book. In and out in 1 minute.
Opal? It was naughty.
That was naughty, Opal.
Shut
That
up,
sounds like some
Wow.
of Kozik's performances.
Thunderwave.
Is that
No.
another one of those instruction manuals?
Thunderwave. Thunderwave in the lofty Ivor. Oh.
I just more or less just kind of asking what they wanted to do. I think
Little
Zed's
one.
perfectly fine bringing them along, knowing
Yeah.
the potential risk, but also just I think he'd feel better about it than potentially being in a fight and like thinking, "Oh, I wonder how little one's doing right now." So yeah, I think if Tiffany's not around and the option doesn't present itself, then Zed's just more or less just gonna kind of be like, "All right, well, we're bringing him along."
Let's go kick the ass of the
Little
god
one.
of death.
Little one deserves vengeance too. Maybe he'll blast him with a burst of gem flame
Hey,
or something.
You're not wrong.
Right? We don't know what he's capable of.
Let's go have a good time. I haven't really
This-
gotten to use my spells yet so far.
You know what? This is actually the ideal way of raising a child, Zedrin. The drow would commend your parenting
Right.
skills.
Throw them in the deep end.
Alrighty,
Well,
we are
no. Protect their lives with your own body, of course.
Ooh, I like that one.
okay. Never mind. I was about to reprimand you, but that went in a different direction than I thought it
And
would.
then, well, obviously, how else are they supposed to know, like, you're going to face immense dangers at all corners when you inevitably take out the knife to stab them?
Never mind.
Okay,
Again.
we're going on a different.
My parents
Sort
would
of thing.
never sacrifice their bodies to protect me, for sure. So that's a
Zed,
new skill.
we are leaving little one here, I assume.
Up
Well,
to
let's ask him.
Zed.
Little
Well-
one, wake up, little buddy. You doing okay,
If
little
Tiffany's
buddy?
not around, I ain't just leaving little one.
Right.
Oh.
True.
Dirty dog.
It would be best to
We
like
just played
introduce.
Pictionary.
Played Pictionary?
Kind of.
With their bodies.
And Cha starts smiling like that kind of Pictionary.
It is. OOC. It is so funny because it was like the most innocent evening. It was like we literally just like talked about our childhoods and fucking.
Nobody
In
would
all
read a
honesty,
novel
that's
on
exactly what happened with Cha's date
Exactly.
as well. Cha's date was exactly that way too, completely 100% innocent.
that.
Yeah. So the choice is: are we taking little one or are we leaving little one? I think in the grand scheme of things at OOC, for the safety of little one, I think it'd be best to have them here in town under Miriam's watch and with Tiffany. If
Marn might try to use him against us or something crazy.
well, I was even
Better.
thinking just like we could get in a fight and like let me put it this way: if little one's in, we're thinking like, oh, little one might want to attack and like if little one's in the initiative order, that's not a good situation for us to be.
True.
The last thing we want
I
is
was
a
only
bunch
slightly
of
muted for a certain
baby
amount of
Jin
time.
Dragon shards on the floor with no little one
Yeah,
left.
that would send Zed to a dark place.
He's been traumatized enough. We'll give him a break. You know,
Seeing horrific
sorry.
gore and horrible combat is not good for a child's upbringing. Cha.
well, yeah, that's true, I guess.
Cha.
You're
I really
talking
don't have.
about-
I don't have
Niavara.
a comparison. I don't have any comparison of it. That's what I got. I just don't
Alright,
know if
so-
it's good or bad. Like, any of you who didn't grow up with gore and horror as a child, tell me if you think it was better for you or not.
I was born next to a volcano, and I think that was a much healthier environment than what you're trying to put little one into.
So not seeing Tiffany around, Zed's gonna grab little one, kind of put him up on his shoulder like he used to just hang out,
Oh.
and I'm gonna run over to Tiffany's place. It's probably actually better that maybe little one's there and not here at the bar. So I'm gonna go run over there. I'll be back shortly, and then we'll go off to the ruins, eh?
Sure.
Also,
Sounds
Opal, like,
fun.
Opal looks
All right,
heartbroken as you take the.
Sorry
gem
comes
away
back
from her.
in.
Hey,
Sorry comes back
Sari.
in as Zed's walking out. Oh, how's it going, my friends? Are we ready for some adventuring today? What are we
Yep,
up
we
to?
sure are. We're gonna
Zed's
head
gonna
back
open
to
up
that
his coat.
dungeon.
Great.
Zed'll open up his coat
Fantastic.
and kind of gesture to his flask. Be like, "Oi, sorry, let me know when you need something." As he's just kind of like
Sorry.
walking by.
Puts her hand up and puts her head down and nods no.
He kind of has a
Good
smirk and he'll
self-control,
close
Sari.
his coat. And he's like, "I thought so." Later on.
Good self-control.
You were so messy last night. Sorry. How were you anyway? Remember anything weird?
I've got
Sari,
some
what did you
vague
do?
pictures in my mind. I remember you disappeared completely at one point. I have no idea what happened. I was walking right next to you, and then all of a sudden you were gone. So I remember that bit. And I had a really good time. I remember walking home. I was just skipping around and jumping and dancing. I had a great time. So I try not to do that too often, but I just can't help myself sometimes. But I had a nice time. So, but I'm feeling a lot better now. I had a good walk and some good water to drink, and just did a little healing work on myself. And I'm feeling right as rain, ready for anything.
Oh, that's
right.
very funny.
I think so. Cha said that he walked by the like authorities, like taking notes and stuff. I pictured Cha overhearing. So you said there's a half elf, and they were doing cartwheels down the street. Okay, okay. I'll write that down.
Now remember, we're in the Feywild, so it's probably not that uncommon
that's
to
pretty
see an elf
common.
doing
Oh,
cartwheels down the
it's true.
street.
If
Definitely
anything, it'd
reoccurring.
probably be more uncommon to see like a fairy doing cartwheels while
Abnormal.
flying.
It's like, wait, you said that they were just walking, just normal walk.
Just normal
Okay, we
walk.
gotta
That
find
is
this
very
person.
suspicious.
We gotta find this.
Right.
You know, Zed, Sadi brought up
Exactly.
an interesting point. Is little one a girl or a boy? I don't know if
Did I say
we know
that?
how to check.
Has anybody ever sexed the dragon?
Hey,
I'm not
yeah.
sure I
stop
said
Or
that.
right
are
Did I
here.
say
they?
that?
Okay,
It's a good thing.
new,
It's a good
well,
thing Zed already left.
binary. They're binary, non-binary.
Non-binary, non-binary. Well, that makes
Cool.
sense.
Zed just takes off before we get into the discussion.
Zed is gone. Zed does not hear any of this.
I literally.
So what are we
literally
thinking of doing
fell
today, my
asleep.
friends?
Going to the ruins to go fight a dead god, obviously.
We should probably
Go to the
prepare.
ruins. Go
So
to the
Zed,
ruins and what?
Zed was protected from Marn, the terrible bad guy. So we're like,
Right.
let's jump on this and go kick his ass now.
Yeah,
If
he
he's there.
probably
Right. Do
has
we
some
know where he is?
Well, we think he's
Uh,
there, but we're not 100% sure.
We have a good guess. Sorry.
And
Something's
ultimately,
And we're doing this today. We're doing this today.
I mean,
Oh,
we can
let's-
travel there at least. My thought process is the following. I saw that little poor thing, and I'm like, how could someone do that to something that small and get away with it? I'd like to see some iota of justice in this world. Furies bless
Gosh.
him, free of charge.
You're here.
Well, I'm putting my sword right through him.
That's the
That's
spirit.
that. Oh yeah, that one's gone. He
This
doesn't
one
belong
deserves
here.
it. There's no
That's right.
ambiguity here. This one needs
Absolutely
to
not.
exit existence.
This one needs to go. That's right.
Right. They have a nice spot in hell waiting for them.
But before
Hey,
that
a nice
happens,
spot.
you gotta get there.
Oh, sorry. Right.
Mm-hmm. We're just waiting on Zedrun to get back. I'm picturing that Niavara is like sharpening her knives as they're talking about this.
So what's Kozik doing in the meantime?
He's sitting with his arms folded, and
Who's
He's
the echo
sort of-
coming from?
say again.
There's an echo.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's not you.
Okay.
It's sorry.
Oh, is
Good.
it coming from?
I'm echoing.
Yes.
Is it?
Oh, what can I do about that?
Are you wearing headphones or are you just letting us?
I'm wearing headphones.
Oh,
Hmm.
maybe it's not her.
Well, I'm seeing her thing light up when I'm hearing the echo.
Oh,
Yeah, right
Oh.
there.
I didn't hear it.
maybe that's part of her internet lag.
Could be.
I don't know.
It's fine. Sorry,
I'm not
Kozik.
hearing anything. I mean, I'm hearing you guys, but
Kozik, are you ready to kick some ass, buddy?
yes, yeah, I think so.
That's the most hesitant battle yes I've ever heard. What's
Well,
up, buddy? You seem mopey today. What's wrong?
I'm just ready to go kick some ass, I guess. I'm not sure.
Hey, Zed found his crystal dragon. You'll find your black crystal. You see how this works?
Didn't you mention
Certainly.
having a conversation with your lady last night?
I did feel a certain presence, and I'm a little bit haunted by it, but it was positive. But you're right, here in the Feywild, it seems that whatever you look for will eventually be revealed. So I'm excited about that.
There you go. And hey, buddy, it'll be a long time before capitalism collapses.
What is this? Yes, late capitalism. Late, they say. We've only just begun.
It's not the end of the beginning. It's the beginning of the end.
Everyone deserves their opportunity to make as much coin as they can. But anyway, these are the
Right.
kind of things that my dwarven father would tell me, but here in the Feywild, it all seems so far away.
It would be great to meet your family someday, Kozik. If you wouldn't be too embarrassed by us entering your home.
No, I would welcome having every one of you here in the dwarven halls. It's too beautiful.
It would be nice to get to see everything.
So it doesn't really take Zed that long because he knows exactly where he's going. If Zed's still here.
It doesn't look like he's with us.
Oh, I'm here. Sorry.
Oh,
All right. So you were just gonna like drop little one off? Was there anything you were gonna say, or just kind of did you want to like fast forward through that?
Yeah, I didn't want to spend too much time on that. I would reference the conversation that we had, because I basically told her that we were probably going to get into doing something dangerous, and it like I had to basically
Wasn't sure
tell
if you
her,
wanted to or not.
but not to worry. We're all We've all got each other's back and all that sort of thing. Just the kind of typical sort of before you go off into doing something possibly life threatening, just be like, we're gonna be fine.
Then, so you'd basically get the exact same worrisome conversation that you had last time.
Well, I was gonna say too, it's like, yeah, no, trust me, I'm confident we're gonna be perfectly fine. So, with that being said, can you hold on to this little baby creature that I'm really, really concerned about because we're about to go do something that I feel like is gonna put them in jeopardy. We're gonna be fine, but I just need you to
We're
watch
gonna
this
be
little
fine, but
I
not
just need
them.
you to watch this little thing for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
All right. So essentially, by the end of it, like she'll accept, but not before voicing, the concerns that she did last time. And she'll.
I forgot to write this down in my inventory. Didn't she give Zed like a lock of her hair?
She did.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
So-
Fallen. Have a good night.
Nice.
And essentially, like as you're like about to leave, she'll just like hover up to your face and give you like a little smooch. Kind of like a "you better be back here. You better come back" kind of.
Yeah, basically the last thing Zed will say is just more or less like I'll see you soon, trust me.
Famous last words. Anyway,
Exactly. Yeah, he'll make his way back to Lofty Highborn. Meet up with everyone.
All
Zed
right, Zed.
returns.
We're ready. We are ready for this. Everybody's pumped. We're going to stick so many different weapons through Marn. He's going to look like a pincushion.
That's right.
He's going to rue the day he ever fucked with the Fell Company.
That's right. We've got a
Let's
blade
do
right here for him.
this!
So, speaking of weapons and stuck in people, let me try and get this image for you. Bit of an aside, but my buddy showed me this, and I thought it was fucking fantastic. So, have you ever heard of a game called Morkborg?
Borg. I don't think so.
Yeah. Borg. No Mork, and I know the Borg. Do not know Morkborg.
Together again for the first time.
It's appropriate, actually, that the Borg hang out with Mork. That would be
So-
fascinating.
That image in the
Assimilate
Discord.
Orc.
Yeah,
that
who would
is how you
assimilate who?
So that is how you select your starting weapon. And I saw that image and I'm like, that's so fucking awesome.
Very
That's how
on
you
brand.
select your starting weapon.
Nice.
That's
Oh,
exactly what the Fell Company is going to do to Marn right there.
Those are the beautiful things they did in the Renaissance just to, like, test the human anatomy and learn.
Morkborg is a very like sort of grim game, but yeah, my buddy showed me that and I was like, oh, that's amazing. So when you were talking about we're gonna stick so many weapons in them, I was like, this image is so apt.
Cool.
But
All
anywho.
right. So I suppose maybe we could go to Tamara and have her lead us through those catacombs again. And then,
I mean,
out to where we needed to go. Or we could just go through the mountains or whatever.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, how hard can it be to just retrack our steps? My God.
Yes, nothing could possibly go wrong.
I have faith in our abilities.
Same.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's
go
do
kick
this.
ass.
We
Niavaris,
exit town.
we could also if we could ask like Tamara like for a map. She's just gonna like try a survival check to like mentally map back out like the path through the mountains side, mountain pass. How well does Nevar remember it? Let's find out. Oh,
Well, you guys went
Ooh.
through the catacombs. Shaw was the only one who actually had to figure out a way through the mountains.
Hmm. That is quite
because he was,
Actually-
he went to the bathroom while you were all.
Actually, if you recall, Marge was the one who led you through the very long, very windy, very confusing, complex networks of caves. And she just kind of knew exactly which one to take. It was almost like, imagine you were, you know, you didn't really have the perspective, but if you were doing like a top down, imagine trying to navigate through an anthill, like how many twists and turns and dead ends that there are. Because you guys would probably have like looked down another hallway or two, or like a not hallway, but an alternative cave, and been like, yeah, that just doesn't
that the
go
one?
anywhere.
That's a cave.
As I described it before, it was very labyrinthian in design.
Hmm.
I think maybe I'm gonna ask her.
But first, you gotta find her.
Hmm. Hopeful is
Well,
also
then-
going to roll survival to see if she can remember the way through the horrible labyrinth.
Well, there were guards set up, like throughout, so I don't think we could even get through without getting attacked unless we're with Marge or Tamara. So let's see, Tamara.
I mean, there
where
was definitely
she?
something hinted at.
Yeah, I remember that.
Twinkling.
Well, there's the area where we jumped down into that cellar. If we could find that again and like knock on the door, Tamara would be there. And that was the entrance to the catacombs as well.
So you go to the location where you last remember Tamara's quote unquote office.
Yeah, let's see that.
All right. So you make it to like that, dark and shadowy, shady, in like shadowy alleyway, and you kind of go through the hoops of try and figure out what you did before, like the knock but you're not really sure how to activate anything because nothing's happening.
Did we ever go to Marge's house?
Nope.
Shit.
So let me get this right. You don't actually know how to get where we're going. Is that what I'm understanding here?
I
Well,
mean,
we went through a whole catacombs that was like a labyrinth, intentional labyrinth. We had a
Opal?
guide take us.
How well did Opal's survival check remind her of the path?
Oh yeah, you remember it. At least on the way back.
So all I'd have to do is
Yes.
reverse the pathway.
Yeah, but
I mean,
But Marge told us that Tamara told us there were guards and stuff throughout the catacombs that might kill us if we're in there
What they're
without a
unaware
guide.
of is that
We
those
need one of them.
pathways
Oh, I
constantly change unless they have
I mean,
the
we can go back to
appropriate
Samara. We do
attunement.
know where she is.
This is true.
Let's go find Tamara.
Yeah, let's go. Disappointing as not being able to lead you guys back through
We
there
scour
myself.
the city looking for Tamara or Marge.
Well, I'm gonna need some investigation or perceptions.
All right. I'll do a
I
perception.
guess it kind of depends
I'll
on how
do an
you're choosing to go
investigation.
about it. Because if you're just like walking through and looking, that's gonna be a little bit harder. But
Well, I think
investigation
we'll
might be a
go to
little
the
different.
places where we met them before because we met. I think Tamara we met at the Lofty Highborn, right?
She
Or
came to visit
Marge.
us there.
Yeah.
Marge we met at the festival. We were talking about some
Oh,
smokes.
right. That's right, at the festival.
Okay, so
So
we
I think
got
we'll head back toward the toward like the capital center too. That could be an area to check where we met Lady Miriam, because she seemed to be an
OC,
agent around there.
just OC here. Can you help me with under? How do I do this perception check?
So in your character sheet,
Yep.
there is a little thing that says perception. You just click on the word
Oh, okay.
under
Thank you.
attributes.
Underneath
On the
inventory.
yes. Okay,
Yeah.
great. Thank you.
Ooh, nice. Nat 20.
Nice.
This is your homeland after all.
That's right.
All right. So between Opal and Sorry,
Yeah.
you both managed to come across or figure out let's see, because one was investigation and one's perception. So maybe Opal was just like, Opal asked around, because you guys are aware that Tamara there's a lot of people that know her, especially there's a lot of people that know her. She's out and about, like she doesn't necessarily hide herself, quote unquote. But you kind of get a couple of leads, like maybe she would be over here. I mean, she likes to smoke, so maybe look for, a smoke shop or something. And you start to sort of head in that direction, like you get an idea, and at that point, that's when Sorry kind of kicks in with the natural 20, and you see Tamara. She seems to be interacting with a couple of people. She is pretty much like right outside of the Miriam's home, the
there we go.
castle, and it looks like she's talking to a couple of guards and a couple of other individuals.
Good work.
Very good.
That's teamwork.
We'll go up to Tamara and try not to interrupt her conversation, but just hang back and give her some like body cues that we want to talk when she's finished.
She looks over to you for a second, just kind of holds up a finger, and then turns back to, take a couple more minutes to wrap up the conversation with, a couple of, it looks like an orc and a half elf. And she just kind of goes, all right, you know what to do. Go ahead and do it. They nod and head off.
I didn't hear anything that you said from when Sorry kind of kicks in. Something kicks in for Sorry, and I didn't hear anything.
We found Tamara. You helped out. We found her. And
Glad to
we're
know it.
interacting with her now.
Thanks. Sorry. Glad to know I could help.
Her internet is butts. And then she turns towards you guys.
Tamara, hard at work, huh? With your delightful schemes of protecting people.
Well, I wouldn't say it's about protecting them. It's about getting them here. After that, it's kind of out of my hands.
Fair enough. Okay, listen, we had our interaction with Lady Miriam, and we are on the scent of this horrifying figure that has been attacking our friend Zed. Thanks to her help, we need to go back to the temple where we think that he may be holed up. But in order to do that, we need your help. If you could help us through the catacombs again to where we went, then we can do the rest once we come out of the catacombs, I believe.
From what let's see here. From what you've been saying about it, it sounds like you really shouldn't be going back to it.
Well, we really shouldn't, but we need to finish this guy off. He's been attacking our friend. He's out there doing some horrible things to who knows what. He was torturing our little dragon friend, who we finally got back, which is great. We need to finish him off,
Let me roll some for
vanquish the
Tamara.
evil.
That's right. I'm gonna kill that. fucker.
Okay. So what you're saying is you want a one-way trip.
Well, I mean, if we could come back through the catacombs on our way there, on the way back after we vanquish them, that would be preferable.
That would be very
Instead of
nice. We
fumbling
want to
through
come
the
back here.
mountains trying to figure our way back here.
I remember the path back. Though I believe
That's
we need
sweet
a
of you to say
guide.
that, but I highly doubt you'll still find your way through without proper guidance.
I'll try and memorize the path back.
Yeah, about that. She pulls out a smoke and snaps her fingers, and a small spark turns into a little flame, and she lights it.
Ooh, nifty.
Yeah,
Hey,
about
Nice.
you're
that.
welcome to come along if you want to tear it up with us.
Absolutely not. The reason I'm here is because I'm actually intelligent enough to not go wading into anybody's fortresses or any weird anomalies or anything like that. That's why I
Tamara,
send
please.
other people to do it. They get paid to do it, and I don't get moited. I like all
Can-
these odds.
Can you help us?
You don't want to descend into the magically trapped god of death temple? Come on. Where's your sense of adventure?
It's right here.
I think she's saying that she'd much rather have someone, guide us there. Like Marge, even though Marge is on vacation and therefore cannot join us, she is what we call the leader. What's that name of the cast? Like there's a class that used to be in like 3.5.
A businesswoman.
There's that. Enterprising.
Fair
She's
enough. You
made it
pull the
this far.
strings.
That she doesn't need to do it by hand. Besides, we're much
Got
better
it.
at killing things than she is.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
probably true.
But, on the bright side, I can hire people to kill things for me. So, it works out in the end.
Hmm.
And she looks to Neovar like, mm-hmm.
Point being, we'd like to go back and we need some way to get there because we are not personally the most, how do we say this, navigationally inclined band of adventurers.
But if I'd been there before, I'd know how to get there. But no, I've not been there.
Can we do a favor
Well,
for you? Is there
let's
anybody
just
else we can
say
help
without
out there?
the proper guides and the proper attunements and what have yous, you'll
We-
definitely get lost, even if you have a perfect photographic memory.
Which is why we're
No,
asking.
we definitely need a
Right.
guide. Is there anything we
Definitely
can do in
need
return
your
for
help.
you?
And I swear, if you tell us one more time that we're going to get lost without anyone's help before actually doing anything to help us,
Did you know that you'd get lost without anybody's help?
contemplating just
Come
going
on,
off
Zed.
on
You
my
Oh,
walk.
own.
You walk.
right
You walked
into
right.
that one.
You did walk right into it.
Damn, that
Like,
was a good one.
like Tamara and Marge are like the definition of prickly.
Yeah, that old biddy on vacation. Vacations. But
It is in
I
Lady
guess I could
Miriam's
help
best
you.
interest as well. She does want us to finish this sucker off, who can jump right into her land and screw with her citizens whenever he wants. So she would appreciate this too.
Yeah, well, I will send somebody for you. How about that?
That'd be great. Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
That
And
is
by the
so
way, if
much-
you try and go through the caves without proper guidance, you'll definitely get lost.
Wait,
All right,
what was
I'm gonna
that?
wait
Sorry,
outside.
I didn't hear that. Could you repeat it
I'm
again?
going. I'm leaving.
Oh yeah.
Zed, she's just saying that we'll get lost if we don't have. I don't think he can.
Yeah, Tamara's definitely on the pricklier side. Well, yeah, I could go to make it to my office in probably I don't know, about an hour. I still gotta do some businesswoman stuff if you catch my drift.
Make your
Sure.
deals.
Cool. We'll meet you back here in an hour.
Well, you'll be meeting my contact, not necessarily me, because you know I'm real busy,
I mean,
real busy.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
We'll meet your contact. They'll know who we are.
If you need us to
Yeah.
pick up something for you while we're out, let us know. We'll be happy to try if we don't die.
Yeah, any special herbs or mushrooms or, you know.
Well, since you're offering,
You
Tell me,
Neovar
tell.
perks up.
you know, since my contact's gonna be sending you through the caves and whatnot and guiding you where you need to go, well, you know, I might also be able to give them a task and you might be able to help them along the way. And, you know, we all win.
That's
Sounds
exactly the type of arrangement I was looking for. We could also, in theory, scout out places to sneak some smokes into on your next run that maybe wouldn't be quite so deadly.
That would be fantastic. I'm so glad you thought of this.
We're
We
going
And that
definitely
way-
thought of this on the way over
Even if
here.
it's a
Yeah.
one-way trip, you'll still benefit from something we do.
You know, old Tamara, I could definitely get behind that. I mean, if you want to do it, then by all means.
We appreciate the work you do. We're happy to assist.
She lights another smoke and puts it on the other side of her mouth.
Oh, wow, neat trick.
Good balancing act. Do you have two tongues?
double barreling the
A lady
smokes.
never kisses and tells. Or
I
I
don't
guess
think
tongues
that-
and tells.
I don't think that phrasing applies to that scenario, but I'll let you keep your secrets.
Yeah, is there like an sexual innuendo about smoking 2 cigarettes?
No.
Oh, well, okay. I just thought I was lost. So, continue.
Ooh, let me snooze these ads. No ads. So, yeah, I'll have my contact come and meet yous, and they'll be, you know, once I get the couple of things figured out, then they'll be able to lay out maybe the task that'll be at hand.
Sweet. And
Because I
by the
still got to
way,
kind of, you know, writes it up and, you know, make sure it's in the books and all that.
By the way, remember all that stuff I was saying about Lady Miriam when we left the meeting? Well, I may have been wrong, and she might actually be cool.
Yeah,
She
seems
looks at
like
you
she's
like,
got her own
Duh.
ways.
Still on probation though, for being so cryptic, but she might be okay.
What, you expect somebody with that level of power and influence to just put all the cards on the table? And then she lights a third smoke.
It would have been nice to see once in my life, but I guess it makes sense.
How are you
Sure.
genuinely holding them?
Yeah, what?
I didn't-
Skill.
Out of character. Do kobolds have lips?
They do not.
So exactly, like, what is she holding them on by? Her teeth? My God.
She's kind of wedging him in between teeth.
Oh, cool.
That would be so bitter.
God, if I was a smoker, I'd be so turned on right now. Like for
I
reals.
don't think so.
Really? So it's okay. So
I
my
don't
natural
know.
feelings are actually shared by most the creatures around me. Okay, good.
I think it's a humorous image. Wish you
Fan
the best
art.
of luck
Somebody
with your-
make fan art. Come on, hundreds of thousands of fans, make fan art.
Well, Tamara, I wish you the best of luck with your business deals, and we'll see your contact in an hour. Hopefully, we meet again, because I don't plan on dying anytime soon.
Yeah, well, nobody really plans on it, but you know, when you go roaming into a, I don't know, undead god, whatever you explained, infested cave that's full of, I don't know, red mist, I'd probably consider my chances of survival real intently.
That's as close to planning our own death as you can get, I think.
Sounds like going home.
Yeah, ditto.
Tamara, I want you to understand. I'm from the Underdark. I love going into dark caves that, like, reek of mystery. It's fine. It's a walk on a Saturday night.
Well, you know, if there's anything I've learned from my time before I was the big boss around here, sometimes not knowing things is the safer bet.
Ignorance is bliss, but it can also lead to your death. Who knows what's in there?
The dark.
Yeah, not much good stuff. Sure.
But you know, I don't want to bring anybody down. So who knows? Maybe it's full of rainbows and unicorns or something. You know, anything could be in there. Maybe the red mist was maybe that was just like a unicorn toilet or something, and the other colors are just coming in
Unicorns?
later.
Your sarcasm
We get to
is
meet
just-
unicorns.
We'll bring you back
Guys!
more.
Finally.
Definitely not. But we didn't come onto this. We didn't go on an adventure to be safe.
Kozik, did you just say you were gonna bring back the horn of a unicorn? Did I-
Sure. I've just been told that they exist in that terror dungeon, so
Kozik? No, they'll be good guys.
Snooze that ad.
no.
Are
no.
they,
Unicorns
though?
aren't bad.
I think they
Are
could be.
they? Really?
Like horses, right? Some of them are just like, just civilian horses, but then they're also like war horses. I presume they have to be kind of evil. Bet you
Have-
it's the same with unicorns.
You're
Have
watching
any
yet
of
another
you-
shard of Cha's childhood hopes just be crumbled into the cold hard light of truth
Have
When we
once
come
more.
Have any of you grown up on a farm or in a rural area?
Does the Underdark count?
Yeah, I don't know how to answer that question.
No. Have you ever seen what horses eat?
People?
Not people, just whatever's small enough to fit into their mouth.
Arms?
So yeah, deep gnomes, obviously.
No.
My god, what the fuck happens in the Underdark, Niavara?
Well,
You know what happens in the Underdark stays in the Underdark, isn't that right?
Correct.
the Underdark is it sexual innuendo too? Tamara, you are a minx.
Cha,
No.
one day I will find out how to make a metaphor physical and hit you with it.
Ooh, I'd like to see that.
Actually, I'm
Is
not
that-
a minx,
is that
I'm a
also
kobold.
sexual innuendo?
Right.
Niavara's
good
laughing at how
thing.
that turned out. My God.
It's a good thing Veldrin's not around.
Oh, that
Oh.
is true.
He had a better sense of
Felder
humor
would
than you
despise-
realized.
Right, huh?
I
He
needed
wanted
you.
our group name to be sexual innuendo, right? He wanted
No.
that. That's why he said that.
Mm-mm.
He
I
said,
need a
"Don't
drink."
make our group be a sexual innuendo." But what he really meant was he wanted it to be.
Well, while you fellas figure that out, I got work to do. All right, bye.
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 Has it not been an
See you
hour
in an
yet?
hour.
I mean, I could stick around if you want. That'll just mean it'll take me even
No, we're
another.
waiting on you.
I mean, I
Don't
could.
forget that we're gonna get
Okay.
lost without her help.
I swear to God.
Why don't we just go to a tavern and make like drinking bets with people there?
That's a bad idea if we're about to go fight a dead god.
Yeah.
I'm
there
not
we
saying
go.
any of you. And hey, we're not going to make it there in the first day. I remember the last time we traveled. We didn't make it that far the first time. So, regardless, we'll all be sober when we go fight the dead god. And I'm not saying any of you drink. I'm saying I drink.
You know, it brings up a good point. Do we need anything before we go we can get from town, or are we set?
I have a day's worth of rations.
Last rites.
Ooh, I like the sound of that. I prayed to my goddess. She's got our back, I'm sure.
Totally.
Yeah. Oh,
yep.
I haven't actually heard you
Yeah.
talk about your goddess yet.
Yeah. What are you
Shaw.
talking about? Neovar's right there.
Oh, you know what? I haven't mentioned her before.
No.
I thought I did a couple times.
Mm-mm.
Oh. Well, you probably know all about her. Well, maybe, I don't know. She's a drow goddess.
Oh, you worship the Spider Queen.
No. No. It is a beautiful, powerful goddess of freedom and light named Aelestre. She's wonderful.
Let's do
I
it.
heard about her in the Underdark and started understanding like her ways, and it was so special and exactly what I wanted to do. So I felt like it was a natural fit to connect with her. Well, last night was the first time I've ever prayed to her because I felt like, I don't know, I felt her presence around us. A good feeling.
And yes, you would
That's
know.
all.
You would know of that deity, and even if you rolled lower, you would have known that because it's kind of part of the
Oh
culture.
no, I was like trying to gauge it for myself, not just like how much I knew, but also what her positive, negative, the historical context, for her. She's like, ah,
Yeah.
Elistray. Ah. Mm.
The sounds you're making.
You know what?
Is she not an alternative to the Spider Queen in the Drow pantheon?
In a sense,
An
you might say.
alternative?
In the same
No.
sense, Kozik, would you consider, I don't know, Lady Tatiana maybe a worthy counterpart to your lady, the Queen of Air Darkness?
Oh, certainly not.
There. That is a
One is
correct
just a-
comparison. She
one is
is
just a
not
pale
like the
reflection.
Spider Queen.
Everyone knows that the Drow are the children of Lolth, you know?
Precisely.
Everyone
my
knows this, you
goodness.
know?
I mean, on the one hand, I do appreciate aspects of Elistray's stories. Dancing naked in the moonlight has never particularly appealed to me, granted.
We should all
Um,
try it together.
I'm so good, you have no idea. No. The daughter goddess I've always compared myself to was not Illustray, who betrayed her mother and sided with her father and then subjected herself purposely to the dark exile of the Underdark.
Self-sacrifice. Isn't it beautiful?
And she's like, no, the goddess I appreciated myself was the Fury. Whose mother gave birth to her, perhaps unwillingly, But it was never the Fury's fault. The Fury did not choose to be in those circumstances, yet she was labeled a monster for what she was. I admire her passion and her anger at her situation and those who deem her evil because of them. Do not be like, it's. I don't know how to say it. Like, I feel like Elistray can be a little patronizing almost. I want to scream.
Patronizing.
I want to yell. I don't want to be like calm and peaceful about it. Things suck sometimes, and I want to scream. And maybe a little murder,
Okay.
but like that's me.
She cares about freedom and service to others. She wanted to lift the drow from the clutches of the Spider Queen up into the light. Isn't it beautiful?
Perhaps.
It was
That's
exactly
lovely.
what I want. Like she was an
That's
inspiration to
lovely.
me to lift up out of the hell I was born into the light of goodness.
That's
Hmm.
lovely, Charles. That's
Dancing
right.
naked in the moonlight with your sword and serving others? I mean, come on. This is my bag, you guys.
That's right. I'm right there with you, Chaw.
Hey, thanks, Adi. I guess I haven't mentioned her before now because, well, in all honesty, I didn't know if any of the gods really existed, the good ones anyway. And
Ah.
I I didn't want to presume that, you know, it's hard to explain, but I just had this feeling. I had this feeling last night after I was with Sarah. We had a really nice night together, just talking and
Say no more.
sharing, and yeah, and then I came home and I saw you all sleeping so peacefully. I just had this really good feeling that something was good that was going to happen. And so I prayed to her, and then I wake up and that little one's sitting right on Zen's chest. I mean, it was amazing. And Cha's like tearing up a little bit. It's like, I feel like there might be goodness. It exists out there. It's not all just horror.
Oh, brother, no, there is goodness. There is goodness.
Hmm.
And Sari puts her arm around his shoulders.
Thank you. So maybe she exists. Maybe it's real.
I
So
mean,
I guess it's okay to say her name now. And
I'm sure
yeah.
the Dark Maiden exists.
There's so many dark maidens. Who are we talking about here?
That's the title of Elistray within the proper Drow pantheon.
Hmm.
Elistray, is that what you say? OC here? Is that what's their name?
Elistray.
Stray.
Elistray.
I'll spell it out. So I put a picture of her also in the
Oh,
chat.
there it is. TRAE. Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we have two dark.
So this
goddesses.
one, she's called the Dark Maiden. She has a few names. Cha's like, my favorite handle of hers was given to her by her sisters. The Dark Fire of Love.
You know the stories of her sisters, right?
Yes! She's had to claw her way out of a really fucked up family to choose to be good. I mean, she could be my sister.
Mm.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Sounds like her dad was a lot cooler than mine, though.
It does.
That's her mother?
From your point of view.
Yeah.
Understand that we do understand what has befallen us is like largely the Spider Queen's fault, but like where was the Dark Lady when
From what I've
we
heard,
were being, crushed
right.
underfoot?
From what I've heard, she was being crushed as well, but then was sort of resurrected later.
Mm-hmm. I'll keep my coin to my traveler and my 6, the host.
I don't
I'll
think she'll have a problem with any of our various divine beings watching over us. No.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. I'm more just saying like have fun. I'll leave that worship to you. The same way I left worship of Lolth to my brother.
Velder was into Lolth?
You didn't know that?
And that
No.
question,
That's
just
perfect.
checking how long people want to go because it's
Yeah.
technically past time.
That's a good segue since Elistre is the daughter of Lolth, who turned against her mother. Good times. Thanks, everybody. That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. It'll be a miracle if the guide that was promised actually shows up. Let's see.
I'm sure he'll actually come. Tamara will come through.
That'll be fine.
I trust Tamara more than I trust Miriam.
Maybe so.
You know it? Yeah. I think Cha feels that way too still, although he's warming up a little bit thanks to Little One.
I mean, to be fair, you've also interacted with Tamara way more,
Oh yeah.
It's true.
and you got to meet
Aw.
Marge through Tamara.
I'm so glad I finally got to share Elistre because Cha's had that in his backstory since the very beginning. I love throwing another goddess into the mix of incredible, disturbingly
many
powerful
So many dark goddesses here.
creatures.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're really mingling.
I will say she's not really a dark goddess. She's objectively a good goddess. She's just called the Dark
Right.
Maiden.
It sounds like she's
Right.
all about good.
She's
yeah,
dark.
but
She's
it's
dark
just kind
because
of
she's
funny.
actually like dark.
A drow.
Mhm.
Although to separate her from other Dark Maidens, we might have to call her one of her other titles.
Yeah, I'll look through them. I'll see which one. I like the one Dark Fire of Love, that really stuck out to me. Dark Fire. Maybe
That
we
seems
can call her
to-
that.
That seems to suit Cha in some way, I think.
It does.
Dark Fire of Love.
As does
Yeah.
Lady of the Dance.
Right. Lady of the Dance. And so now you all kind of understand his inspiration to want to make a dance club. You know.
With swords.
Ah. It is fitting into her head a little bit better now.
I have not shared with you his dance club concept. That I'm gonna wait to the end of the campaign when he actually, if he lives, to actually create the dance club to share what his idea is for the dance club because it's gonna blow your minds. I guarantee.
He
you.
doesn't
in
tell
some
anyone
mythical-
until it's open, and he just brings us all there.
Yes, we're gonna do that. That's how it's gonna go
We
down.
just
Have
walk in blindfolded.
any of you ever
Yes!
played like any of the newer Yakuza games?
No.
Okay, because there's like a
The
whole like side content of basically our running businesses.
Oh, right, where you have to I've opened like a hostess bar and like do stuff.
And you have to
Do
like
crazy
work
stuff.
there like
Work
while it's
out your
open, and you're like
capital.
the main character of the
your way up.
story, and you're just like, all right, it's nighttime. I'm done beating up like these like dudes who keep trying to mug people and like fighting these other Yakuza, and at nighttime I'm a gracious host at a local tavern.
I love that career idea for Cha. That's a great career path for him.
When we all retire to Grenstall in a mythical future time.
Yeah.
I remember something about how we were going to be able to, we were able to create our own town. out of Grinstall or something? Like it was a freshly built town, and we were gonna be able to build it or something. Do
Well,
you
what
remember
about not? No, I don't.
that? Oh.
I was gonna say what we came across that like pugnacious fellow or whatever here in the Feywild, right? They took off out of one of the bars before we could say hi or whatever, right?
Right, the smelly one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then that was a while back, and nothing hasn't come up again. So anyway,
I mean, that
Elrune,
is
yep.
a year ago. It was a year ago. We were in Grinstall. The mayor was talking to us, and they said something about how, like, the town was still being built. It was new or something, and we could have a hand in building it.
And then you
I
said,
don't
"Fuck you
know.
guys, we're going to the Feywild."
Yeah, we said, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll be right back.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
we
We
got some
still have an
herbs for you.
unfinished mission. We have mushrooms that have probably grown into like a whole mushroom patch inside our packs by now.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, when you get back from the Feywild, you don't know how many years will have passed.
We don't. We
Yeah.
You
don't
do
know.
not.
It's kind of interesting.
It's gonna be, yeah.
We don't. Although I have to say, Tio Moonblade, when she contacted Cha, he could hear the kobolds that were our friends for a while in the
Oh, true.
background. So that would at least hint that she was in regular time, that they had found their way back to her, and that our times overlap, but we don't know. She kind of existed in a
Or
land
they're
that was
all, or they're
outside of
just
space
four,
and time.
or they're just four little liches running around.
Oh my god, that's so
No.
possible. So possible. We got
All right.
little one back. It's such a great night. It was so beautiful. I was literally crying for reals.
We got him
I
back.
know, so sweet.
I wasn't sure if it was gonna be like today, if it was just gonna be one of those things where like Miriam shows up and we get a step closer. Yeah, that was awesome.
It's perfect.
He was manifesting.
Right.
And having to make the decision. Because I wrote, it's like,
Yeah.
because I think it was like during the week I messaged Zed, I was like, "Ooh boy, it's about to get real juicy for Zed."
Yeah, there's so
Yeah,
much
that was
going on
powerful.
in that vision. You like, because if those are
Oh
all
my
your
God.
memories, and you don't even know the memories, but there's like a gigantic dragon in there, and a body floating in water, and you don't know who it is yet. That's all
Right?
your mind. Like,
The
So
question
much
is that
is,
shit.
stuff?
the question is whose
And then
memories?
Oh.
Lady Miriam, she seemed interested in all that.
I think it
She
was
sure did.
so what I think what I was seeing, and this is just my speculation, the ship that I was on was my memory, but these doors that were almost opening, sort of giving me some sort of vision into almost something else, I guess, without having an explanation. And then the illusion that those were memories and the fact that Lady Miriam wanted to investigate them kind of leads me to believe that those were situations that Marn had a hand in some way, shape, or form. And
Like the
whether
giant dragon could be that dragon that we found encased in the ice, that kind of thing.
yeah, well, potentially. And like I think like I my assumption is all of the so one of the visions was a graveyard and there was some of my crew there. Well, Marn definitely knows my crew.
Oh, right.
And and so it could have been that Marn had killed some people in my crew and Then there was the body that was out in the water that was upside down. Zed had a feeling that was his captain, and so he didn't really want to have any sort of.
Oh,
He didn't want to know for sure. He didn't want to turn the body over and find out that
right.
something had happened. So he left that alone. And then
Dude, I'm feeling all Twilight Zone about that one. I feel like if they turn it over, it might be you.
it
That's
could have,
that's
yeah.
what's freaking me out a little bit.
Well, and then I mean the part of the reason that I wanted to look out of the porthole again was that's changed every time. And
Ah,
like the last time it felt like we were sailing, but we were basically like out in the astral sea, like out in the stars. And then this time we were literally sailing, like he saw
yeah,
water
ocean.
and so it was like I don't know, all the subtle differences for me made it pretty cool. To try and put things together and stuff like that. And I forgot to bring up anything about like the doors being connected with that cold sort of mist, but it seemed like that connection was still there. I think you mentioned that was still there. So yeah, there was allusions to connections between all of those scenes, and
If
I
he can
guess
jump into your mind, he could jump into other people's minds and then mix it all up.
yeah.
That kind of
So
thing. Like all the doors are a different person or something.
I will say that OOC, I the reason that I brought up what I did, it kind of got glossed over, but at the very beginning when I was talking to Miriam, I wanted to see if we could maybe run into Miriam before we left for the dungeon. So it was funny that I ended up running into her in my dream. But
Yeah.
I dawned on me earlier that we never brought up any of the Illithid stuff. And whether we know about Illithid or not, like as far as what it is, one of the key things that happened in the ruins with when the statues changed, like as soon as the red mist started going, when we got back to one of those main rooms, two of the statues that were just adorned in armor were basically
They
like
became
illithid creatures.
Illithid. Right.
And so I started thinking like Marn might be illithid,
Marn might be an Illithid.
which because that's their whole thing is just like messing with your mind and trying to, gain
Or
control
they
and
could
stuff
be
like
like
that.
a Lich Illithid or something because of their extreme power.
Yeah. And then there's a connection to the Nautiloid sort of ship that
Yes.
we both saw in the vision. So there's definitely that sort of presence somewhere. And so I wanted to bring that up to Miriam just to see if that would maybe trigger some sort of response or something, but it didn't seem like,
Right.
at least in character, I didn't really get anything, but that might have given Miriam some information to go off of. But yeah, that would be pretty crazy. Anyway,
She just cracked that door open and there he was.
Yep.
yeah.
Oh man. So cool.
Which again, to kind of take
All right.
the scope of it, that was all confirmed by Miriam to be in Zed's mind.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but could be projected. Things could be projected in your mind
Well, but
from
right,
others.
but as far as us standing there, if looking at it from just
Right.
a different trajectory, like we were both in my mind and little one was trapped behind that door, and that was technically where we were at that point of existence, was in Zed's mind. And he ended up well, with Miriam's help, freeing little one, and then all of a sudden little one was there. So basically little one was trapped inside Zed's head the whole time via Marn.
Whoa.
which is just like
That's some
weird.
cool freaking magic.
It's weird on like a bunch of different levels. Yeah.
Totally cool.
What better
That's an interesting.
what better way to
yeah.
torture somebody than to trap someone they love in their own mind?
They kept taking you to where they were inside your own head, and you couldn't
How
get
did
in.
the crystal get into Zed's head?
That
was
from
Lady Miriam.
and she gave it to me, and she said basically like hold it to my forehead.
Oh, that's
And
right.
when I did that, it was just like absorbed.
That's right.
The interesting thing too is, and I think this is part of the connection that we keep going back to from this dungeon that I guess Sorry keeps asking about, and we haven't really had a good answer. But we saw a statue of Marn in the ruins, and Zed and Cha went to attack
Oh.
it to try and destroy it. We broke
Right.
like half of the face of this statue off, and it basically like rebuilt itself before our eyes, and when it did, it had a bit of a smirk
Oh,
that next
wow.
time.
Yeah.
And so
Oh, wow.
there have been like all of these different sort of connections to Marn. And then at one point when we were in there, I don't know what room it was we were in, but Zed heard Little One like calling out to him. And then
Right.
we kind of deduced that he was just hearing it in his head. And the irony of that was because that's
He
where
was in
Little
his
One was
head.
trapped. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fucking
yeah. Wow.
crazy.
Yeah, that's very cool.
Well done, Cubed.
Yeah.
No doubt.
I'm super
There were
happy.
a lot of other things in the dungeon we haven't dealt with too. Like there was a whole
Mhm.
room of books that we didn't look through at all in that
Mhm.
room where you
Good
had to
point.
say the name of the god. There were the 2 rooms we didn't check out, but we never looked at those books to see anything of what was going on there. That's Marn's library.
That's
Yeah, it's
Marn's
cool.
library. So Marn's really connected to this dungeon.
Yes.
Well, we're
Yeah, that's why
assuming,
we've wanted to go
you know.
back. It's the
Okay,
only
I didn't
place we
get
wanted to
that.
go
There's
back
a
to
lot
in
of-
the
We want to
whole
kick
game.
some undead god ass.
I
Yeah,
did
there's
not
a lot
get
of
There are
that.
unanswered
Okay.
questions too. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, that helps.
Oh, but yeah, that was a fun session.
All right. So with that, I'm gonna wrap up. So thank you guys for hanging out. Thank you for the raid from Polyhydra. Hydra. I can't pronounce the word. And let's see. So tomorrow we will be doing the Wanderers, different group. That's gonna be at, let's see, 5:30 Pacific. Hope to see you there. I'm gonna wrap up here. Oh, do the thing. Do the thing. There we go. So, like I said, thank you guys for being here. I'm so glad I get to do this every week. It's so awesome. I love DMing, and it feels so good when players like kind of figure these cool things out that I've done story-wise. So that's awesome. And I just love doing this, and I'm gonna keep doing it. So tomorrow, different campaign, different game, different group. It'll be fun. Come on by, say hello. So, with that, I bid you all a lovely evening, and I hope that you have a wonderful morning as well as evening. I just said evening. So, for y'all's on the YouTubes, I pretty much, post as we started about 7:30 Pacific. Are they asking me something? Oh. Yeah, there's still post-game discussion. Yeah, so thank you guys for being here. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna wrap up the stream here because I gotta start prepping some stuff before I get it onto the Yoobs tubes. So I'm gonna dip out like this. All right. So, all right. Until next time, y'all. Appreciate you. Appreciate you being here. I'm out. Or I say this like an 8th time. So, bye.